The Minnesota Media Archive is brought to you by North Metro TV. Your support helps make the archive possible. Please consider a one-time donation.
Run demo. Insert tape. Loading. Playing. Transferring video. Recording. Disc ready. Transfer your videotapes to DVD and digital at North Metro TV. $12 an hour for tapes. $30 an hour for film. Call 76323122803.
And the opening drive for the Rebels, they've got it 2nd and 10 at the Blaine 45. Dan Skelly back to pass, and Tony Kunza goes up after it. He returns it to the 49, but unfortunately, the Bengals go 3 and out on the drive and have to punt it away. First play of Blaine's next possession, the pitch to Steve Moore, gets some great blocking, shakes off a couple of would-be tacklers, and he's down to the 34, a gain of 21 for a Bengal first down. A couple of plays later, it will be Ryan Parsons dropping back. He'll hit Eric Allman over the middle. Great catch, and he's down inside the 20 to the Champlin Park 17. That will set up this 8-yard touchdown run by Chris Bellina as he bounces off the pile, gets to the outside, and after Doug Netto hits the extra point, it's 7-0 Blaine on top. So far, so good. Well, Champlin Park wasted little time tying it up, though, on their next possession. They give to Ramon Humber, and he rumbles down to the 32 before Brian Baumgartner rides him out of bounds. A gain of 24 yards on the play. Well, the drive will carry over into the second quarter. A few plays later, it's Humber again, and he'll get outside. It's a 10-yard touchdown run. Scott Bullock will hit the extra point, and we're all knotted up at 7 apiece, and the Champlin Park crowd loves it. Well, that's the way the half ended, so we'll take it to the third. The opening kickoff will go to Steve Moore, his first game this season returning kickoffs, and he'll take it at the 14. Does a great job following the wedge, and then he'll work it all the way down into Rebel territory. That's a 38-yard return for Steve Moore, kind of a harbinger of things to come. A few plays later at the 33, it'll be Parsons on the keeper, and he'll be down inside the 20 as he picks up another first down for the Bengals. But the drive will stall out, and Doug Netto will be on to try a 31-yarder into the wind. It's up and it's good, and the Bengals lead by a score of 10-7. Late in the third quarter, the Rebels have it at the Blaine 28. Mike Marish takes the handoff. He'll find a hole on the left side and down to the 15. We'll carry this drive over into the fourth quarter, about 45 seconds into the quarter, and it's Marish again from the 1, untouched, to take a 14-10 lead after the extra point. On Blaine's next possession, they will have it at the 45. A.J. Kelly will get into the act on the inside counter. The line opens up a huge hole for him, and he'll pick up 19 yards down to the 36. A few plays later, from the 13-yard line, as they pull the grass out of Kelly's helmet, it'll be Kelly going in motion. He'll get a nice block for Steve Moore, and he just barely gets the ball across the plane for 6. Netto misses the extra point, and Blaine is up by 2 by a score of 16-14 with about 7 minutes left. Champlin Park's not going down without a fight, though. On 3rd and 8 at their 23, Skelly drops back and finds 6'7" tight end Mo Young, and he's out near midfield. Next play, Mike Marish will show some great speed as he'll take this one to the outside, and he races down the sideline before Brian Baumgartner shoves him out at the 31. Well, the Bengals defense was able to stop the drive, and Scott Bullock will be on to try a 26-yard field goal attempt. This one into more of a crosswind. It's up and it's good, and Champlin Park up by 1 at 17-16. But on the ensuing kickoff, it's a squibber. Moore will pick it up at the 19. Once again, nice blocking as he gets behind the wedge. Then he'll pop it to the outside, and the race is on. He'll be finally pushed out of bounds, but not until he gets down to about the 13-yard line. That's a 68-yard return for Steve Moore and a huge momentum boost for the Bengals. Well, a couple plays later from the 8, the pitch to Moore. He'll pick his way into the end zone. Chris Bellina runs in the two-pointer, and Blaine's up by a score of 24-17 with about a minute and a half left to go in this one. And as it should be in a great game like this one, we'll finish it up with a big defensive play on 3rd and 11 from their own 8. Dan Skelly lets it fly. Tony Kunza with his second interception of the night. He'll run it all the way back 22 yards for the touchdown to seal the deal for the Bengals. They survive this one, and much closer than the score looks, as they win by a score of 31-17. And there you see some very happy Bengals. Well, let's take a look at the numbers in this one. Blaine, boy, if you look at the numbers, you'd wonder how they won this one. Only 8 yards passing in it, but 76 for Champlin Park. Rushing, they did pick up 181 yards, 193 yards of total offense. Keep in mind they did score 1 touchdown defensively as well. Passing-wise, Ryan Parson, as I mentioned, only passed for 8 yards. He was 2 of 6 on the night. Steve Moore finished up the night with 63 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Ryan Parsons only picked up a few yards rushing, actually 55 yards. And Chris Bellina had a pretty nice night with 50 yards and a touchdown run as well. Defensively, Tony Kunza with 2 interceptions, one of those returned for a touchdown. All right, there you had the highlights from last week's game, and the Spuds and the Bengals coming right up after we take this time out.
For all your up.
All right, welcome back to Bengals Stadium, and the teams being introduced right now on the field. The Spuds coming in 8-2 champions of the Section 8 5A. The Bengals, of course, champions of Section 7 5A. Well, for Moorhead, their head coach Steve Conley in his 8th season at Moorhead. They've had a pretty good season. Their only 2 losses came against Detroit Lakes and St. Cloud Tech. They knocked off Cambridge Isani last week by a score of 47-12. And guys to watch for the Moorhead Spuds, their junior halfback, the only junior that starts on either side of the football for the Spuds, Corey Johnson, averaging 7.5 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns on the season. He's had a great season. Their quarterback, Lucas Wolford, doesn't have to throw the ball a lot, but he has completed 44% of his passes, 8 touchdowns. But Matt joining us now, Matt Androsky, our color guy, a lot of interceptions, 5 interceptions for Lucas Wolford.
Yeah, that's a lot to have, you know, a high school game, well, for a season.
And for the Bengals, of course, Ryan Parsons having a great season through the air and on the ground, completing 60% of his passes. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. Only 1 interception on the year for Ryan Parsons. And then Steve Moore has had a great season rushing as well.
Yeah, Parsons, he doesn't have to throw very often, but when he is, he's very efficient. With only 1 interception, the 9 TDs, 61 percentage. That's amazing.
And then Steve Moore, who you just saw introduced there, his numbers a little bit deceiving. He's only ran for 575 yards, but he really hasn't needed to during the season because Bengals usually have their offense on a short field.
Yeah, they have a pretty good return game, and with their defense, they make the teams kick the ball away pretty deep in their own zone.
Adam Rutgers, one of the top receivers in the metro area. As you see, Ryan Parsons having a great season for the Bengals as well, averaging almost 25 yards a catch. He's got 5 touchdowns on the season. Let's take a look at the offense for the Bengals. There you see the backfield. The halfbacks will be Steve Moore and A.J. Kelly. Ryan Parsons at quarterback. Rutgers and Dustin Newberger are the starters. Then across the front line, Division I prospect Joe Vanstrom, Joey Savacool, Brad Dahlman, and Mike Halverson, along with along with Dustin Wise. And I believe we'll get to the Moorhead defense here shortly, as they will be setting up to kick off. Kicking for the Moorhead Spuds, Willie Roller, who also plays defensive end and is a receiver as well, so a very versatile kicker for the Moorhead Spuds.
Yeah, he seems to do it all for Moorhead there. Let's see if Moorhead can hold Blaine in their zone.
Yeah, he's a big guy for a kicker too. 6'5", 215 pounds. Back deep will be Eric Ullman and Steve Moore for the Bengals. Moore got involved in the kicking game last week as a returner and played a big role in that win over Champlin Park. It will be taken by one of the up men, and picking it up for the Bengals is Dustin Newberger, and they'll have it in pretty good field position.
That was a squib kick there. Must have scouted the return games of Blaine. They wanted to make sure that Blaine didn't get it past midfield.
Yeah.
So
now let's take a look at the defense for Moorhead. Aaron Field, Jed Donkey, Dustin Martin, and Justin Rowland, and of course Willie Roller, who we were just talking about. 1st and 10 for the Bengals. They'll have it at their 34 on a very cold, very hard field. Temperature in the mid-teens as we start this one, and the handoff will go right up the middle as the Bengals will try to establish that running game early on, and Steve Moore will pick up about 3 yards.
the linebackers for Moorhead is Nolan Oliver and Josh Carrick. The defensive backfield is Joe Johnson, Sean Kostrich, David Cullum, and Tyler Hagan.
And talking with Connolly a little bit before the game, he thinks the keys on his defense are his linebackers, Nolan Oliver and Josh Karch. Here's the pitch to Moore. Moore looking for a hole on the right side, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. But also one of the big guys for the Moorhead defense, Dustin Martin, their nose guard, has had a great season for them as well. It looks like it'll be about a 1-yard gain on the play.
If you look at the replay here, he pitched it out and very well played by Moorhead. They had the outside covered. Everyone stayed in their zones, it looked like.
Nolan Oliver coming over to make the tackle. So 3rd down and 6 now after the 1-yard pickup. One man split out to the far side. Here's Parsons looking downfield. He's got time, but nobody open. He'll take it himself, and he'll have the 1st down as he's out to the 45-yard line. The tackle will be made on the play by the free safety, David Cullum.
Yeah, he just got past the 1st down marker. He had plenty of time to throw and couldn't find anybody open, so he decided to take it himself. Watch the replay here. He decides to take it down. He's got a few blockers, cuts it outside, and he just got taken down, but just after the 1st down marker there.
So 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Rutgers split out to the far side. Lone setback will be Bellina. In motion comes Kelly. The handoff to Moore, and Moore will be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. A gain of about a yard on the play for Steve Moore.
Looks like they tried to fool him with a end around, but no one bid on it.
Yeah, Moorhead pretty big up front. Jed Donkey, the left tackle, 220. Justin Howland, 180. Willie Roller, 215. Aaron Field, 170 across the front line for the Spuds. Oh, not to mention Dustin Martin at 195, the nose guard. Here's the pitch to Moore. The Moore gets to the sideline. He'll be pushed out. Gain maybe a yard on the plate. Nope, they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, not much there for Blaine. They tried to go outside, but apparently Moorhead's a little too quick for them. With those big defensive linemen, I don't know if they're going to try and be able to pound it through or not.
Actually, where they spotted the ball, they gave him almost a full yard on it, so we'll call it 3rd down and about 8. Rutgers split to the near side. Of course, the no-huddle offense for the Bengals. They've been doing this all season long. Back to pass is Parsons. He'll send his receivers down deep, and he'll take off on the fly again, and he'll be pushed out of bounds. It's going to be close as he's down near the 45-yard line. Looks like he's going to be about a yard shy as he picked up about 7 yards on that play, and they're going to stop him right at the 45.
That was another passing down where Blaine gave him plenty of protection here, but he just couldn't find anybody open. So he tells his outman to go block the number 52. Just missed the dive, but ooh, looked like there might have been a face mask on that one. Referees didn't see it though.
Yeah, pretty nice block there by A.J. Kelly to free him up to get close to the first down yardage. Looks like he's going to be about a yard shy, although we're blocked out by the players, but nope, it looks like about a foot. Bengals will probably go for it here.
He's taken out big number 77 there. That guy, I wouldn't want to get in his way.
Yeah, Dustin Martin, the nose guard, is a leader on this defense. And so 4th and about a foot. The Bengals are going to go for it. Pretty much guarantee this will be a quarterback sneak here.
This just comes down to who gets the bigger push off the snap. It's the offensive line or the defensive line.
Moorhead stacks him up at the line. In motion is Kelly. No, they'll hand it off to Moore. He just jumps over the line, still on his feet. He's inside the 40. That'll be a gain of about 8 yards for Steve Moore.
That was a nice run there. It wasn't the quarterback sneak. It was Moore that took it through. And they seemed to follow the quarterback on that.
Yeah,
if you watch the linebacker, he was following the quarterback, thinking he was going to take it outside, so he wasn't ready to hit the running back going right through.
And Dustin Martin, the nose guard, just dove in to try to stop the sneak, and he was laying on the ground. Moore just jumped right over him. So 1st and 10. Here's Kelly trying to get the corner, and he'll be tracked down and brought down at the line of scrimmage. Getting over there on the tackle is the linebacker, Josh Karch, 6'2", 195 senior, and he just strung him out and brought him down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Moorhead's doing a great job stopping the runs here. The only person to really do too much against him has been the quarterback. And other than that, I mean, they've ran a few times outside, and Moorhead stopped it for no gain or about a yard every time. I think they should just keep on sticking going through the middle. That's where they've been successful.
And Moorhead with a pretty good defense throughout the year. They only give up about 11.5 points a game, but here's the pitch to Moore. Moore jumps over another would-be tackler, and he's down near the 30. And he'll gain close to 8 yards on the play.
There's the option there. It was a nice stiff arm to let him get those few yards, and then the jump also. Or else he would have been taken down. If you watch right here, he gets a nice stiff arm on number 5 there, or else he would have been taken down behind the line of scrimmage again. Then he jumps up the attempted tackle, I guess you'd call it. Looks like he was just trying to get in his way.
Now 3rd down and 4. The pitch to Moore, and he'll be strung out and brought down at the line of scrimmage. Karch over there once again, along with a little bit of help on the play by the strong safety, Sean Kosic.
That was again, Blaine's trying to go outside, and Moorhead's just beating him to the corners. Takes the pitch here.
I got a reverse angle look at it here. Oh, there's Roller coming over.
And every time, Moorhead, they're getting 2 guys out there. And a timeout for Blaine now.
Yeah, Parsons, I think, was having a little bit of trouble with the signal. And play clock was running down, so he had to come to the sideline. That's a smart timeout. You're on 4th down, and you've got 4 yards to go, well, 3 yards to go, and you got to make sure you've got the play that your coaches want in there.
Yeah, it's about 4 yards or so, but if I was the coach, I'd just call another pass, let Parsons scramble. It's been working so far. I believe each time he's gotten about 10 yards or so at least.
Yeah, he hasn't, actually about 7 yards each time, but he hasn't, he's dropped back to pass twice, but hasn't done it yet. There you see Steve Conley on the right side. Let's take a look at the brackets games tonight. Lakeville is at Eden Prairie. That should be a great matchup on the rematch there. It is the Cretin-Durham Hall Raiders at Armstrong. Then the Hastings Raiders hosting the Mustangs of Moundsview and the Spuds here at Bengal Stadium.
Looks like Blaine's got their play.
Well, they've got Rutgers split way to the near side, near the sideline. Lone setback after the shift. Now Moore back there with Molina. The handoff. Nope, the keeper to Parsons, and he breaks through. And touchdown, Bengals! A 30-yard touchdown run by Ryan Parsons.
He broke a couple of tackles there. It looked like Moorhead was going to have him in the backfield after the play action, and they just couldn't bring him down. And once he got the first down, he broke another tackle. And watch it here. He's keeping the ball. Should have been taken down right there, it looked like, but he shed it very well. Just has one guy to beat. He dives for him, just trips him up, but he gets in the end zone.
Well, on the extra point attempt, Doug Netto missed it. Went wide to the left. There is a bit of a breeze that direction, and a lot of that could be contributed to it was a pretty poor snap. Ryan Parsons tried to get the ball lined up quickly, and nonetheless, it was a missed extra point. So the Bengals on top here by a score of 6-0 after their first drive of the game.
Here's another replay for the touchdown. Another angle here. Ooh, a nice stiff arm. That's probably what made him shed the tackle there, was the stiff arm. Again, he's just got to go to the end zone.
And here we'll get the reverse angle on it. And Parsons nearly tripped up as getting over there defensively was Tyler Hagan, and he falls into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, the drive goes 66 yards in 11 plays, and now we'll have Brian Baumgartner set to kick it away for the Bengals. Back deep, David Cullum and Joe Johnson. It'll be taken by one of the up men. I believe that's Karch, and he'll be brought down at about the 30-yard line. And Moorhead will start in pretty decent field position as they'll have it out across the 30.
Yeah, again, it's very cold out here, so that may affect some of the kicks. I mean, the ball's a lot harder, which is why you'll probably see a lot of running. We got Moorhead offensive starters here. The quarterback, Lucas Wolford, running back Corey Johnson, fullback Josh Carrack, Andrew Cowhagen, Joe Johnson, and Matt Schneider. Then the offensive line is Chris Peterson, Jed Tadnick, Caleb Stanham, Nick Fee, and Dustin Martin.
All right, on 1st and 10 from the 32, they'll hand it off going to the right side. I believe that'll be Corey Johnson. Johnson, one of the easier players to find on the field. He's the smallest guy out there, only 5'6", 165 pounds.
We got the defensive starters for Blaine here. Brandon Held, Jake Fabian, Dustin Cromney, and Derek Kelly. Front line. Linebackers is Andrew Geeson.
And the handoff going to the left side. Here's Johnson again. He's quick, and he gets through on the left side. He'll pick up 11 yards on the play and a first down for Moorhead.
Yeah, Johnson's pretty small and pretty quick. Oh, we got the linebackers for Blaine here. Andrew Geeson, Tim Moore, and Brian Hansen. The defensive backs are V. Washington, Brian Baumgartner, Tony Kunza, and Steve Moore.
And actually, Brandon Held, the left end, is out tonight. Late scratch, and Zach Gresseth is starting in his spot. So Gresseth in place of Held at the left end for the Bengals.
Time they gave it to the fullback for Moorhead. Gain of about 2 or 3 maybe.
Josh Karch, a nice second option, has picked up almost 850 yards on the season. 2nd down and 8. And the handoff to Karch once again, and Karch will push the pile ahead, and Moorhead doing what they do best, running the football right up the middle and another 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, with all this running, I mean, it's got to get the defensive tired too. And in this cold weather, you get tired a lot easier. Though Blaine's got plenty of people on their sidelines.
Well, 3rd down and 3. See if the Bengals can come up with a big stop here. The handoff to Johnson, and it's going to be close. It looks like he stopped short.
Yeah, Johnson hit that pile right there, and it didn't move very much. He's a small guy, quick guy. But if you get a hold, got the replay here. Hands off to Johnson, and he just sort of gets into the pile, tries to push it, and it's taken down. Looks like they're marking the ball about a foot shorter, so I'd have to guess Moorhead's going to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to bring the chains out, but yeah, they're much closer than we thought. Just a matter of inches. There you see, about the length of the football, and yeah, with the ball at the Bengal 45-yard line, they will definitely go for it here, down by 6 points in the early going.
This is one where you just hike the ball and hope the center can fall far enough and the quarterback can fall on top of him and get across the first down line.
Well, the ball has to get across the 45-yard line for the first down. Let's see if the Bengals defense can penetrate the backfield here. And they'll hand it off, and leaping over the pile and getting the first down is Corey Johnson. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the play.
That's good enough for the first down. You can watch the replay right here. It's pretty quick and slippery there. He just sneaks through. He doesn't need a very big hole to go through, so.
And Tony Coons coming up late to try to make the stop, but a little too late. So 1st and 10 at the 43. Back to pass is Wolford. Throws to the far sideline, and out beyond the reach of Andrew Gahan, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Blaine had a pretty good rush that time on Corey Johnson. Lucas Wolford. Even Wolford, he's only completed 44% of his passes this year and thrown 5 interceptions with 8 touchdowns. So it doesn't seem like Moorhead likes to pass very much. Looks like they're just trying to catch Blaine on surprise.
Well, 2nd down and 10 at the 43. High backfield for the Spuds. Hand off to the second man. That's Johnson. Johnson gets the corner, turns on the Jets, and he's going to be close to another first down as he's down across the 35. And actually, they'll say he went out at the 35, so it'll be an 8-yard pickup for Corey Johnson.
Yeah, pretty good pickup right there. Again, he gets outside and he's very quick. It's the replay here. Picks up a little bit of a block there, but he just beats the defenders to the outside. You can see how much smaller he is compared to the rest of the team. Just got pushed out of bounds.
3rd down and about 2 for the Bengals. And diving ahead is Karch. No, check that. Yeah, that wasn't Karch. Down to the 30. They'll pick up 5 in the first down.
Watch the replay here. Hands off to Karch, and then goes outside like he's going to hand it off to Johnson, hoping to get a couple of linebackers to bite on it, but either way, they got enough for the first down. 1st and 10 on the 30.
One thing you can definitely see on this hard frozen field is a lot of slipping going on as the handoff this time will go to Corey Johnson, and Johnson will dive ahead. No, check that. Gahan was the ball carrier, the wide receiver.
Here's a replay. A little bit of a touchy handoff there. He almost fumbled it. Picked up about 3 yards or so. Well, Moorhead's moving the ball pretty good. They're not having to worry about long 3rd down situations.
Yeah, 2nd down and 8. Back to pass once again is Wolford. He looks to the far sideline. It's tipped. Was it caught? Yep, they'll say it was out of bounds, so incomplete. Nice try there by Andrew Gahan.
Here's the replay. You watch right here. Pass. Looked like they did that pass play earlier. It got tipped off of the first receiver's hands. And he never caught it.
Nope. Yeah, back was the flanker Joe Johnson trying to get that tip, and it's hard to say who that pass was actually intended for.
Yeah, that was the same type of pass play as they did last time with two receivers cutting off to that side.
Well, on 3rd and long now, they'll split one man out to the near side, 2 to the far side. Single setback is Johnson. Back to pass is Wolford looking to the far sideline. Diving for it is the receiver. Is it caught? It looks like it is at the 17-yard line.
Pulled that in. Watch the replay here. Looked like it probably was a pretty nice catch. Very nice catch.
So a 12-yard pickup and another Spud first down. And there on the catch was Justin Zander, the backup flanker back. Hand off to Johnson. Johnson into the pile, and he'll be down near the 10.
Another nice pickup there.
Now let's give him the 12-yard line, so gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah, Moorhead here, they completed that last pass. That was their first completion. It's 1 for 3 now.
12 yards on that completion. 2nd down and 5, I backfield. The second man through will be Johnson. Get used to hearing his name tonight. He's going to have the ball a good percentage of the time, and he'll pick up a couple on the play.
Yeah, it looks like Moorhead wants to win this game. Johnson, he's going to have to rush for quite a few number of yards tonight. Seems like throughout the season, Johnson's taking the team on his shoulders, rushing for over 1,000 yards this season.
All right, 3rd down and 3. Let's see if the Bengals can hold them down here. Back to passes Wolford, and nearly picked off. Over there for the stop was Tony Kunza.
That was nicely knocked away there. Watch the replay here.
It looked like Wolford slipped a little bit as he was trying to get set there.
Yeah, that pass came out pretty wobbly. He's lucky that one didn't get picked off, so they can still attempt a field goal here.
Well, Moorhead's going to call a timeout and talk it over. I think they're trying to decide whether or not to attempt the field goal. The ball inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. It's 4th and about 3 to go. And you have that tough decision as to whether to take the 3 points or go for it and have a chance of coming away with nothing.
Well, I think if you have faith in your kicker, you got to try and go for the points here. Although, Blaine, they missed the extra point on their touchdown, so maybe the coach doesn't know if the conditions are that good for kicking right now and wants to try and punch it in. Be about, let's see, 4th and 4 it looks like. Teams are timeout's over. I'm gonna have to get out on the field.
All right, 42.3 on the clock as the teams come to the line. Looks like Moorhead's going to go for it here. Bengals fans up on their feet and cheering on their defense. The handoff to Johnson. Johnson hit behind the line of scrimmage, but it looks like he'll have the first down at the 5-yard line.
That was some nice running right there. Got hit early, but stayed on his feet and picked up about 5 yards. First down. Watch the replay here.
I believe that was...
After that hit, he picked up about another 2-3 yards.
And here's the handoff once again as he's brought down behind. Johnson will be down near the 2-yard line.
Second and goal here. First quarter running down. About 8 seconds left.
Johnson already on this first drive for Moorhead with 40 yards on 9 carries, and that'll be the end of the first quarter of play. And at least for the time being, the Bengals on top in this one by a score of 6-0 as we get ready to head to the second quarter. But the Moorhead running game so far getting the job done as they've taken the ball from the 32 and they're knocking on the door as we get ready to start the second quarter.
Looks like Moorhead wants to keep the Blaine's offense off the field and just tire down that Blaine defense.
Well, I do see Brandon Held running down the field, so he is in the game. He did not start tonight. He had Zach Gresseth start in his spot, and then Jake Fabian at left tackle getting his first start tonight, came up off the sophomore team. Don't know much about him, but that's got to be a big thrill for a sophomore to be starting on defense in a state tournament game. Here's the Bengals open up the tournament.
It doesn't seem like it's been too huge of a problem. Moorhead's done a great job of moving the ball, though, in their first drive here.
Well, here we go. Second and goal from the 2. And Wolford keeps it himself. He'll be stopped just shy of the goal line.
Looks like he picked up about a yard there. Just tried to keep it and push on through. Here's the replay. Blaine does a nice job of stacking them up right before the line, but it's third and it's like about a foot maybe.
Yeah, the ball is definitely inside the 1-yard line. One man split out to the near side. That's Zander. Split backs in the backfield. And the give to Karch. Touchdown.
Big fullback that time, just plowed it in. And now it's tied 6-6. See if Moorhead can make their extra point. It was this side that Blaine missed theirs. But if they can manage to kick through the extra point, they'll have a 7-6 lead.
Now it looks like the wind has died down that we saw out there earlier. The extra point try is up, and he missed left as well.
So it's tied up now. Both teams scoring a touchdown on their opening drive and missing their extra point. So
we do have a flag down in the backfield of Moorhead.
It's like unsportsmanlike conduct, I believe, on Blaine.
So it looks like they will have another opportunity.
Actually, I think they're going to mark it after the kick, so they'll get to kick off.
Okay, so the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff as the extra point missed. So we're all knotted up at 6 apiece here with 11:18 to go.
I don't know who won the Bengals. It was unsportsmanlike there, but it's a big penalty because now Moorhead gets to kick off from the Blaine 45. And Blaine with normally a pretty good turn team. Moorhead should hopefully be able to maybe kick it out the back of the end zone for a touchback, making Blaine start on their 20.
Well, we will see. They definitely don't want it to go back to the deep men. Eric Ullman on the near side, Steve Moore on the far side, and Oliver will be on to kick it away. Not sure what happened with Willie Roller. He's been the kicker for most of the season, but now all of a sudden Nate Oliver on not only for the extra point try, but for the kickoff as well. And they let this one fly. It'll go over the head of Eric Allman into the end zone, dead ball, and the Bengals will start at their 20-yard line.
It's very nice for Moorhead making the Bengals start on the 20. Last drive for the Bengals, they had a couple of explosive plays from their quarterback scrambling on third down, picking up the first. Seemed like they had much, and then he also had the big touchdown run, where Moorhead on their first drive, they were much more methodical, running for 4-5 yards at a time.
Yeah, to give you an idea, in contrast, the Blaine drive went 11 plays, Moorhead's went 19, and they both went about the same amount of yards, 66 for the Bengals, 68 for Moorhead. Here's a handoff to Chris Bellina, and Bellina will be ridden down by Oliver as he
It was pretty close to a penalty there. They blew it down, and then he just drove him right into the ground after the whistle was blown for forward progress.
Yeah, a little bit of get back for that unsportsmanlike call against the Bengals here on the while Oliver was trying to kick. Here's Parsons throwing downfield. He's got Allman too far.
Yeah, he had a man wide open. He was just throwing a little too far. That was the first pass attempt for Blaine. Not the first one called, but it was the first actual attempt. The other times, here's the replay. You can see he's wide open. And the pass just went a little too far for this man's reach.
Yeah, Allman with a nice attempt there, but couldn't quite catch up to it as he had about 10 yards on his defensive man. Here's Parsons looking to the near sideline. He's got Moore, and Steve Moore has a pop in and out of his hands at the 50-yard line.
Looks like he should have caught that one. That hit him right in the hands. Although it was a pretty good, defensive job for number 23. If you watch the replay here, or not. Right before the ball came, he got his arm in front of it. He didn't deflect it, I don't think, but maybe distracted the receiver a little bit, thinking it would be deflected.
Now Moore on to punt it away. Nice end-over-end punt. Will hit it about the 48. He'll take a Bengal roll, and it will be down at the 37-yard line.
Pretty good field position, a little bit better than the last time they had the ball, and that's probably another result from the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Blaine. They had to start on the 20, and Moorhead gets to start about 16, 17 yards ahead of them. Although a great defensive stand for Moorhead that time. Looks like their defense is pretty good. I mean, in the first drive, they made them go with third and long a couple of times.
I was talking a little bit with the radio crew from Moorhead before the game, and they said that's the one thing that Moorhead has been susceptible to so far this year has been the deep pass. So look for the Bengals to maybe go back to that a little bit more. Here's Karch, and he'll be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. He'll gain about a yard on the play.
Yeah, that was not their best run. I mean, they only got a yard out of it. They're just trying to pound it away again. But with Moorhead getting that ball back pretty quick, they're hoping maybe the Blaine defense is a little bit tired.
Nice stop there by Andrew Geisen for the Bengals. 2nd down and 9 from the 38. Here's Karch again. Pop it outside. No, check that. It's Johnson, and he'll be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose about a yard on the play.
Yeah, didn't quite get outside quick enough like on the last drive.
Well, Brian Baumgartner and Tony Coons are back there.
We got both. This is the first 3rd and long for Moorhead.
Look, actually, no, that was Steve Moore. I thought that was Baumgartner that made the stop, but Baumgartner came over to help out afterwards. Nice job by Steve Moore to chase him down.
Great job of tackling there.
2 men split to the near side, and Wolford looking to go that way, but he'll be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage and sacked. As coming through to make the stop for the Bengals was Dustin Cromie.
Looked like Wolford at the last second wanted to take off. Oh, looks like Wolford maybe hurt a little bit here. And they're gonna bring out the coaches.
Well, they'll give them forward progress out to the 38, so it'll be a loss of 2. Bring up about a 4th and 14, so the defenses both make a good stand here, and Wolford down. Looks like they're taking a look at yes, the right knee. So we get a very good shot there. As the trainer for Moorhead out to take a look.
Doesn't seem to be in too much pain though. I think may have just tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah, trying to look and see in the program here if they list the trainer for the Spuds, but I don't see him listed here, so we'll just call him Mr. Trainer. And looks like he's all right. He's putting weight on it. Get a nice hand from the crowd.
Yeah, it doesn't have too much of a limp there. Blaine, very good defensive stand. Much better than they did on the first drive that resulted in a touchdown for Moorhead. Both teams, after scoring a touchdown on their first drive, ended up going 3 and out, forcing to punt. So,
well, it's the sign of a good team, and that could be said for both sides as they make adjustments as the game goes on. Now we'll see if the Bengals offense can make the adjustment against what Moorhead's doing defensively. Back deep, I believe, is Oliver. Yep, it is. Wolford usually punts the ball. A.J. Kelly will take it at the 38. Kelly will get out to about the 45, 46, and the Bengals will be set up in really good field position here to start this drive with 8:27 left to go.
Yeah, that punt wasn't quite as good as Blaine's punt. Blaine obviously going to have some great field position here. Last drive, it looked like Moorhead, one of the adjustments they made was they wouldn't let Parsons run when he would drop back to pass, because the first drive he dropped back 2 or 3 times, and every time he scrambled on that last drive he dropped back twice and threw the passes. It looks like they're trying to contain him in the pocket a little bit more than just going right at him.
Well, we're going to have a holding call made against the Bengals, so that's going to push the ball back 10 yards to the 36-yard line.
And so far, penalties have really hurt Blaine here. They have 2, and on the season they've been out-penalized 20 more times than their opponents. So it seems like that's one of the problems that Blaine has.
Yeah, it's one of the few negatives they've had on the season, and they've been doing a lot better in recent games, as this time it'll be Parsons keeping it, and it'll be out near the 40, pick up a couple on the play.
Looked like Parsons just kept on shuffling down the line there until he finally got a hole, but then the defense was ready to take him down.
2nd and 8 for the Bengals.
It's going to be 2nd and 8. Pick up a 2 in that play.
Here we had a good look at number 78, Big Joe Vanstrom, 6'7", 300-pound senior left tackle, being recruited heavily. And the handoff goes straight up the middle. And Belina got maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah. Only about a pick of a 1. One thing I did notice was Corey Parson, all of Brett Favre, acted like he threw the ball after he handed it off. I don't know how much that fooled Moorhead, but
well, about the only thing it'll do is maybe keep the safeties back a little bit off the play. But it'll be 3rd and long now. We've got a 3rd and 7 situation. In motion goes Kelly. The handoff, fake to Belina. Parsons will keep it. He's still on his feet, and he's going to be stopped short as he's out to about the 43. 3-yard pickup.
Watch the replay here. So he broke a tackle pretty nicely there, but got slowed up so the rest of the Moorhead defense could get to him and then get him up around the waist there. Great job of tackling by Moorhead.
Yeah, Aaron Field, number 52, over to make the stop, and another nice punt by Steve Moore. This will take a Blaine bounce and hit the side judge on the far side, so at least he'll know exactly where it went out of bounds. And they will have it about the 31-yard line.
Well, so again, another 3 and out for Blaine. And that holding penalty obviously hurt him, because now Moorhead, they have a little bit more room to work with after that punt. And maybe that's what caused Blaine to punt, because they would have been inside the 50, they maybe would have went for it.
Good possibility. Wolford back in the game. The handoff goes to Johnson, and Johnson will be stacked up after he gains 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, Blaine's doing a much better job of keeping Johnson.
All right, Colin Anderson has something to contribute. Take it away, Colin.
Wolford twisted his knee. He seems to be okay. They don't expect he'll even need any treatment. It was just a severe twist, and as you can see, he's back in the ball game. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Colin. And yeah, at least right now, with the temperatures being what they are, probably not going to need to ice it either.
No, it's quite cold out there. Moorhead just called a timeout. Wonder if that was Wolford wanting his knee to rest a little bit more, being back in there. But again, each hit each one of these players takes seems to hurt a lot more in the cold because your muscles aren't quite as loose.
Yep.
So playing out in this cold, I mean, it starts to hurt. I mean, by the time we get into the fourth quarter or so, we're going to see which coach has his team a lot better conditioned.
And playing on this hard field doesn't help either. It went down and walked around on the field a bit before the game. Actually, we went down and walked around the field a little bit before the game, and it's like walking on concrete down there. 2nd down and 6. Split backs. The handoff to Johnson, and he'll be tripped up. No gain on the play. Nice job getting in there for the Bengals was the linebacker, Tim Morin.
Yeah. Also, great job by the lineman knocking down the offensive lineman, causing Johnson to have to slow up. Couldn't get to a hole. Normally, you want the offense lineman to knock down the other guy if you're on offense, not get knocked down yourself.
Well, big 3rd down play here as the clock ticks down to about 5.5 left to go here in the first half. Let's put 2 men out to the near side. It'll be Brett Barta along with Justin Zander. And they try the screen pass. The intended receiver was Joe Johnson. He's the leading receiver on this team, and it falls incomplete.
You can see the replay here. One thing about the screen pass here is he's looking away from the screen pass the whole time, so he didn't know exactly where his receiver was. He was just hoping he'd be in the right spot. It was a good try. I mean, it looked like if he could have connected, Johnson probably could have headed upfield for quite a bit of yards, but Moorhead's going to have to punt here.
Oliver back. And Kelly fumbles it, and Moorhead's going to get it back at the 45-yard line. A.J. Kelly went after a ball he probably shouldn't have gone after, and goes off his fingertips. It'll be picked up by the Spuds, taken there by Aaron Fjeld.
He's coming up, and it just hit off his fingertips. The 2 Moorhead guys are right there for it. Actually, that ball just popped out of one of the Moorhead guys that fell on it, but Moorhead still ended up with it. That's a big play because Moorhead's offense just picked up about 20 yards or so. They get to go back out on the field.
So I'll have it 1st and 10 at the 46, and handoff goes right up the middle as Karch takes it down to the 40-yard line, a pickup of 5.
Yeah, he just powered through there, broke a couple of tackles, and looked like he drug one along with him. Hopefully, well, for Moorhead, after that fumble, I think they're probably going to be pretty fired up. You know, being stopped and then getting the ball right back.
So 2nd down and 5 to go, and we'll have an offsides. Jumping off for the Spuds was Chris Peterson. False start will push it back, and the Bengals catch a break here. That'll bring it back out to the 45.
Chris Peterson, the left tackle, pretty big guy, 6'4", 270. Although not quite as big as number 77, the right tackle. He's 6'2", but 295. That guy's been playing both sides of the ball, too. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that the whole game. So that was the first penalty on Moorhead. Which defaults their first down gain of 5. So now it's going to be 2nd and 10.
And on 2nd down and 10, into the middle.
About a pickup of 3 there. Maybe 2. 2, I guess. So, yeah, that false start penalty is pretty big now because it makes it a 3rd and 8 instead of a 3rd and 3. So far penalties have hurt both teams in the last couple of minutes here.
Well, the Spuds put one man out to each side. They'll go with the eye backfield. Wolford on the quick look. He's got a man, and he'll have the first down as making the catch is Joe Johnson. And Johnson will be down near the 30. That'll be a gain of 15. A gain of 13 and a Moorhead first down.
That's his 2nd completed pass here. If you look at the replay, it was just a quick 1-2 step drop and fired it out to the flat. Just make sure he catches it and cuts upfield.
Ryan Gunter makes the stop, but not until it's a 15-yard pickup. 1st and 10 at the 30 as the Spuds on the move again. Bengals come on the blitz. Johnson will be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. He'll gain about a yard as Kunze came through. And it looked like Andrew Geisen with the stop.
Yeah, Blaine timed that blitz perfectly. Didn't give the Moorhead offensive line enough time to adjust to it or for the quarterback to pick it up. So it's going to be 2nd and 9 here. That last pass for Moorhead was one of their biggest gains so far on offense.
A 13-yard pickup, and probably one of the more important ones. Split backs now for the Spuds. The pitch comes to Johnson. Johnson gets to the corner, and he's ridden out of bounds. Another great job defensively, and he'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Tried to string it out. The line was pulling. Big number 77 again. Sort of got in the way of his own guy. But
and I'm not sure who that was that came over, if that was Geisen or Kunze, the strong safety that came over and drug him out of bounds.
It's going to be 3rd and 9 now. It's going to be another passing down. Moorhead completing their last pass on a quick one. See what they have planned here. Looks like they got 3 wideouts.
Now 2 split to the near side, 1 to the far side. Lone setback is Johnson. Back to pass, throw over the middle, and it'll be enough for a first down as he got across the 20. Another great catch by Joe Johnson as he'll pick up about 9 yards on the play.
Watch the replay here. This is just hit him in stride perfectly, and he just cut it straight up the middle for enough for a first down. On that play, the Blaine came on a blitz and looked like they're going to have a clean hit on the quarterback, Wolford, but he did a nice job of checking down and hitting the guy that was free from his man blitzing.
Now back to pass is Wolford again. He ran into his own man, but he got the pass off. I believe that's Johnson again. No check that. There with the catch was Zander, and he'll pick up another 8 or 9 yards.
He ran into his own blocker there, but still got the pass off, and a great catch just on the fingertips, pulled it in before it hit the ground. So back-to-back passes here for Moorhead, catching Blaine off guard.
2nd down and 3.
Very nice run there by
there's a flag down.
But there is a flag down.
So Karch got down to the 5.
Can't quite see where they threw the flag at, but
that'll be a false start, so this one will come back.
Yeah, that's not very. I mean, he had a great pickup there. Took about 2 Blaine players for a piggyback ride, but now we're gonna have to mark off 5 yards, and it's gonna be 2nd and about 8.
They'll spot the ball at about the 16-yard line.
It's the 2nd false start penalty for Moorhead on this drive. And they're running a little low on time. There's only about 25 seconds left. Probably gonna have to throw here.
Has gone quickly. Under pressure, screen pass to Johnson, and making the stop and saving the touchdown was Zach Gresseth.
Yeah, that was a nice stop. Calling a timeout here.
Timeout Moorhead.
Here's the replay. Nice screen pass. He had a good number of blockers in front of him. Again, he's a very small guy. Got about, made a nice stop there. Moorhead called the timeout, and I guess it comes down to a big decision here. Do you try and kick the field goal, or you miss an extra point on your last drive, or do you go for the touchdown?
Well, we've got 15.9, so time enough for another play or two. But
I do believe Moorhead, that was their last time out. So if they do another play and don't either throw an incomplete pass or get out of bounds, looks like it'll be the end of the half.
And then, of course, the Bengals defense needs to come up with a big stop here. They are going to go for it.
First and goal from the 8.
So they'll attempt at least one more play. They have no timeouts remaining. That was their third timeout. So they're going to probably throw the ball to the end zone. They've got 2 men split to the near side, 1 to the far side. Johnson is the lone setback. Back to pass, thrown behind the intended receiver, but it's incomplete.
Well, I'd actually have to say that might be a little bit better for Moorhead because they didn't get into the end zone on that play. So they would have had to hurry up, and they only had 9 seconds to line up.
Yeah, Brett
There's
Barta.
a replay. Pass thrown behind him a little bit.
Yeah, and tough to tell. We're screened there on the camera angle, but yeah, you never know. He may have dropped that on purpose just to stop the clock.
Yeah, because he wasn't going to get into the end zone, and they would have had to get up. Only had 9 seconds to either get a playoff or spike the ball.
So second down and goal from the 8. And Wolford kind of taking his time getting into the huddle here.
They put 2 seconds back on the clock for Moorhead. It's now 11 seconds.
Okay.
So
2 men split to the near side, 1 to the far side, same formation. And Wolford's hit, but he doesn't go down. He's still on his feet, gets the ball away, and it's broken up. A great job defensively by the Bengals as they come up big, not only almost tackling him, but then Tony Kunze almost picks it off.
yeah, you got to give your props there to watch the replay here. Wolford. Oh, it was after they started the replay after he got hit, and it's the ball off and nearly picked off there. But he did a great job of staying on his feet. That would have ended the half if he wouldn't have. So now Moorhead's going to attempt a field goal.
Oliver on to try it. It's hooked to the left, and it's no good.
That's another kick. That's no good. All on that end of the field. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's no wind at all right now. The flags are limp at on the flagpoles, and oddly enough, no time went off the clock on that field goal attempt.
Yeah.
And
looks
Bengals
like
will get it back with 9 seconds to see if they just take a knee.
yeah, they got pretty much a second left on the clock.
Oh, it's 9/10. That's why
Yeah.
it didn't look. Okay, my bad. When I looked at the clock, I thought it still had 9 seconds.
Yeah.
I just kind of glanced at it. Okay, so the Bengals time for one play.
And looks like they'll. Looks like they.
Well, they've got everybody in for the. Yep, they'll just take a knee, and that is how we will end the first half of play. All mounted up, 6 points apiece. And let's go down to the field. And Colin Anderson will have Shannon Garrity here. As I see Colin tracking down Coach Garrity, but I don't know if Coach Garrity sees him. And here we go. Let's send it down to Colin Anderson down on the field.
Coach Garrity, what are your impressions of the first half? What went well for you?
Well, not a lot went well. We got to move the football. We were 3 and out twice in the first half. They only had the ball 3 times. We got to stop them. And when we stop them, we got to move it and take advantage of it. They're a good football team. We expected this. It was nothing we didn't expect.
Thank you, Coach. first half, 6-6 here at Blaine High School.
All right, nice comments there by Coach Garrity, and why don't we take a timeout? When we come back, we'll bring you the second half. There you see the score. Well, all tied up. It's 6 apiece here at Blaine High School. And welcome back to Blaine High School. Well, it looks like the teams are kind of foregoing the warm-ups. Matt, I guess it's just too warm out there. They don't feel they need to get loose.
Yeah, probably not. Got about 40 seconds left until half. Got some first half stats for you. For Blaine, they had 16 rushing attempts for 71 yards. Moorhead had 24 attempts for 64 yards. Fumbles, Blaine had one on that punt, and they lost it. Passing, Blaine had 2 attempts, no completions, so no yards, obviously. Moorhead had 11 attempts, 5 completions for 50 yards. No interceptions for either. No sack. Well, actually, I believe Blaine had 1 sack in the first half.
Yes, they did.
For about 3 lost yards. Both teams had 2 penalties. Blaine had one of them was a 15-yard and a 10-yard one. Moorhead, they just had 2 false start penalties. And here's a replay of the first touchdown on the first drive for Blaine. A nice broken tackle there. And
Moorhead won the toss and deferred to the second half.
And Parson, he runs it right in.
Yeah, nice job defensively getting over there to try to trip him up, but unsuccessful was Tyler Hagan, and Parsons falls into the end zone. Then the second touchdown, this will be Karch, as he will just dive in from 1 yard out and follow his blockers. You can barely see them in the swarm of blue jerseys, but he did get through for the touchdown. And both teams missing their extra points, and we stand at 6 apiece. Just a little note on the individual stats. Leading the way for the Bengals, Ryan Parsons, 6 carries for 48 yards, and he did have that 1 touchdown run. And for Moorhead, no surprise here, Corey Johnson, 14 carries for 43 yards, leading the way for them. But at one point, he had close to 50 yards, but he's kind of gone backward a little bit. And so the Bengals defense have shut him down for the most part here in the second quarter. Brian Baumgartner on to kick it away. Cullum and Johnson back deep for the Spuds. It'll be taken, I believe that's David Cullum. It is. Gets away from a couple of tacklers, and he's out to the 25-yard line. Nice return for David Cullum. A lot of yardage there sideways, but only about 5-6 yards on the return.
Yeah, in the first half, Moorhead had a few more total yards. Most of them on passing, they actually were outrushed by 7 yards. But they had 8 more first downs, so they had the ball most of the first half. Blaine's pretty lucky that Moorhead couldn't manage to score closing out that half, and would have had the opportunity to have back-to-back scores without Blaine getting the ball.
Yeah, obviously Shannon Garrity, as you heard at halftime, not happy. Handoff goes to Karch, and Karch rips off a big run of about 6 yards.
Yeah, Karch, he was pretty impressive in the first half. He actually had what would have been a nice run, but they ended up calling it back because of a penalty that would have got them inside the 5-yard line with about a minute left. Instead, they had to make it 2nd and long, and just managed to get inside the 5, but with not much time left, they attempted a field goal, and it went wide left.
Ball in the handoff. Karch with some more room. He'll pick up the first down before he's finally brought down on the play
Washington with the
as Van Lees Washington makes the stop and will pick up a first down after an 11-yard gain.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have made that tackle, you see the replay.
First and 10.
Breaks a couple of arm tackles there. He's wrapped up nicely, but if he wouldn't have been taken down there, I think he could have probably gone all the way.
Well, here's another handoff. Karch this time will be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He'll push his way forward and get out to the 45-yard line. He'll pick up a couple on the play.
It looks like Moorhead, they went in the locker room and said that they wanted to just pound it away, just hand it off to big man Karch. Just try and beat the Bengals into submission by pounding at him instead of trying to beat him with the speed of Johnson. The outside.
Karch, pretty good sized fullback, 6'2", 195. Now they'll split Joe Johnson out to the near side. High backfield for the Spuds. The handoff to Johnson. He slips a little bit as he tries to get going. Tried to make his cut and lost his footing a little bit. He'll pick up a yard on the play.
You see the replay here. Just a straight high formation handoff. He tried to cut it outside. There's no hole in the middle. It got plugged, but there's nothing doing to the outside either. Yeah, I wasn't too surprised by that play with the 3 straight runs by the fullback. Just all of a sudden give it to the quick man. I don't think it surprised Blaine very much either, obviously only getting a yard.
Well, third down and about 6. Back to pass is Wolford. He'll swing it out on the screen pass to Johnson. That's Corey Johnson, and Johnson will be pushed out at the 50-yard line. Coming over on the play is Tim Morin.
It's about 4th and 3, or 4th and 4. And it looks like they're going to send in the punt team. Probably seems like a good idea. Don't give Blaine the ball too close to their own end zone. Want to pin them back. And last time they punted, they fumbled. And Moorhead recovered. So Moorhead's probably hoping for that to happen again.
Well, some confusion on the punt team as they fake it, and they'll be stopped short. They snap the ball to Corey Johnson. They kind of gave that one away as the up man, the blocker, John Anderson, suddenly ran off the field. Corey Johnson ran on, and you kind of knew something was up, and they'll stop him short.
Yeah, the confusion there really hurt him because, I mean, Blaine was pretty well ready for it. Although it was a pretty good attempt, try and catch him off guard and get yourself some good momentum starting out the half.
Well, it's a great place on the field to try it right at midfield. You don't really hurt yourself too bad. And the handoff to Bellina. Bellina's still on his feet, and he'll be brought down. A nice pickup for Chris Bellina. He'll get about 5 yards on the play. Well, it depends on which official spots it. On the near side, it's a 4-yard gain. On the far side, it's a 5-yard gain. Looks like they'll give him 5.
Yeah, with Blaine getting the ball at the 50, I mean, last half, Moorhead stopped him the last couple times. I mean, the first time Blaine drove down the field and scored a touchdown, but the second and third drives, they were, 3 and out. So Moorhead's hoping that their defense will hold up here.
Kelly in motion again to give to Moore, and it looks like he'll have enough for the first down as he's down near the 40-yard line.
And it looks like Blaine's had the exact same game plan that Moorhead had coming out, is just pounding up the middle with this cold weather. Just trying to get the defense tired, hurt, getting hit so many times.
That's the first down for the Bengals since their first drive of the game.
See how Moorhead reacts to that.
So 1st and 10 from the 40. Split backs in the backfield. Kelly in motion. Hand off to Bellina. Bellina breaks free. He's inside the 30, and he's down near the 25. That'll be a gain of 15 yards for Chris Bellina.
Another big gain for Blaine, just like in their first drive. You can see the replay here. Breaks a tackle, but it looks like he's trying to run the ball, picks up a big block. Another one there. Gets it to the outside and just gets tripped up and falls out of bounds.
So 1st and 10 from the 25 as the Bengals on the move here in the third quarter. Just over 8 minutes left to play here in the third. Single setback as Bellina. Moore goes in motion. Fake the handoff. Parsons nearly falls down. Flag comes in. And Parsons will be driven out of bounds, and we'll have a face mask call.
Yeah, that's what I have to guess that flag's probably for. It's either a face mask or holding, I'd guess.
Yeah, face mask against.
No, it's going to be holding.
Holding against the Bengals.
So, see the replay here.
Yeah, it's going to be out of our field of vision, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I think the flag was thrown before then.
Yeah, there it came in. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Must have been on the other side of the field there.
There will be about a 2-yard gain on the run, and then 10-yard penalty against the Bengals. So net an 8-yard loss, and we'll push it back to the 33, 1st and 18. For the Bengals. Parsons with the handoff to Kelly. Kelly looking for some room on the left side. He gets the corner. He's down to the 20 and inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Nice run there for A.J. Kelly.
There's a replay.
He'll pick up 16 on the play.
Pulled the lineman, got a great block right there to be able to push it outside.
And one thing you may start to see here in the second half, see a lot of familiar numbers on both sides of the football. Is making the stop there for Moorhead is number 25, David Cullum, the free safety. But you saw Karch in your screen there. A lot of players for the Spuds go both directions. And that's going to be close to a first down for Belina.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, I've seen, seen Dustin Martin out there on both sides, and he's a pretty big guy in this weather. I mean, with Blaine playing that no-huddle offense, it's got to get the defensive line tired. And that guy's got to go back out and play offensive line too.
Yeah, that guy you just saw on your screen there, number 13, Steve Moore, the only player that plays both sides of the football for the Bengals. And they'll hand off to Moore. Moore just powers his way ahead down near the 10-yard line. Yeah, that was just sheer force there.
Yeah. Moore made the linebacker go down. Normally it's supposed to be the other way around, but Moore just lowered his shoulder right in the chest. Moorhead, the linebacker there, and drove him to the ground.
A 3-yard pickup down to the 12. They'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
Blaine looking like they came out this half pretty well fired up. And they stopped Moorhead on their first drive the ball down. They're right around the 10.
Well, Allman in the game at wide receiver. They'll throw it to him, and it's in low. Parsons threw that the only place he could to try to get it away from the cornerback, Joe Johnson. It'll fall incomplete.
They did a good job of throwing it where only his receiver could catch it, but it was a little too low for anybody to catch it. But it was a good job not to let it get picked off.
There's both Johnson and Allman diving after the ball. So 3rd down and 7 now for the Bengals.
Might want to watch Parson here. He'll probably drop back the pass, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him scramble. He hasn't completed one yet, but he's had great rushing yards.
And this time it'll be Parsons following the lead blocks of Kelly and Moore, and he's in for the touchdown. 12-yard touchdown run, 2nd touchdown of the night for Ryan Parsons.
Well, Parson didn't drop back to pass that time. It was just a straight keeper, but either way, he still ran it.
Yeah, he got some great blocking by his big guys up front, and also where you saw Moore pulling.
Just followed him straight through. Got a great block, knocked the defender on his back. Wasn't even touched till he was pretty much in the end zone. And this time the extra point is good for Blaine.
Yeah, Doug Neto hits the extra point. Yeah, he faked it there to a nice fake to Belina and pulled it back.
Yeah, with that fake, it was pretty close to getting knocked out of his own hands. Sometimes you got to watch that when you fake with the ball. Some quarterbacks just use their hand to fake it, so the ball won't get knocked loose. But it's a lot more effective when you actually show the ball. So now we got Blaine up 13-6. So far in this game, Blaine, their first drive of both halves, they've scored a touchdown, but in the first half they didn't do anything after that, and Moorhead pretty much owned the first half after Blaine's first drive. So Blaine's got to hope that they don't get too complacent like it seemed like they did in the first half, and just keep on pounding it at Moorhead. Moorhead's got to come out after this kickoff and drive the ball down the field.
All right, here's Baumgartner on. End over end kick goes to the far side. Joe Johnson takes it. He's across the 20, the 30, still on his feet. He's at the 40 and was knocked down at the 40-yard line.
And he got knocked down by the last guy that would stop him.
Yeah, I believe that was Brian Hansen to make the stop.
Yeah. If he wouldn't have stopped him. Watch here. Does a great job of going behind his wedge. Breaks a tackle right there, and it looks like he may be able to go all the way and just gets taken down. That was a great job, because if he would have missed that tackle, that would have been a touchdown for Moorhead for sure.
Well, on 1st and 10 from the 40.
It's like no gain, or maybe a loss of a yard, if anything. Blaine, they're coming out after that scored and just doing a great job defensively. So, I mean, they stopped him right there. Did a great job on that kickoff after it looked like he was going to break it for a touchdown. Gave him a nice hit.
Well, Karch was the running back on that last play. Corey Johnson will use his speed now, and he'll be out near the 50. So the great defensive stop by the Bengals negated by the nice run by Johnson, and he's going to be very close to a first down. They may measure this one.
And watch the replay here. It was toss outside to the speed back, and it looked like he just tripped himself up trying to cut back to get to the inside. Again, this ground's very hard, so your cleats aren't going to dig in very much. You aren't going to get, when you make cuts like that, you're not going to be too effective. You'll probably trip a lot of the times. And also with being a speed back, if you're going full speed, it's not that easy to stop and change directions.
Looks like Corey Johnson having a little trouble with the hat there. He'll get that straightened out. It's going to be third and about a foot for Moorhead.
Last time they were in this area on the third and very short, they handed it off to Johnson. He just squeaked through a little hole. That was early in the first half, I believe the first quarter even. So let's see what they're going to do this time.
Well, they'll finally get Johnson's helmet straightened out. Split two men out to the far side, one to the near side. I don't think they're going to pass. Fumble, and the Bengals get it back. Falling on it is Hansen. So Brian Hansen saves the tackle on the kickoff, and he comes up with the big fumble here as Corey Johnson couldn't hang on to it, and the Bengals will take over 1st and 10.
It looked like on that play, Johnson got hit as soon as he was receiving the handoff. See the replay here. Yeah, before he even got, it looked like as soon as he was given the ball by the quarterback, he was hit right away, and it's hard to hold on to a ball like that. See the replay here. Yeah, he never had control of it on the handoff.
Yep, it popped out right away. Well, flags fly on 1st and 10. This will be the first time tonight the Bengals have gotten the ball in Moorhead territory, and we're going to have an illegal procedure call. The 4th penalty against the Bengals tonight, as they've been penalized now for 40 yards.
Yeah, back on that fumble again with this cold weather, the ball is very slippery.
Yep.
It's very hard to hold on to, and when you got pads and people hitting you and everything, I mean, it's a lot of stuff to remember to hold or to worry about when you're receiving that handoff. When you're worried about just getting 1 yard.
All right, one man split out for the Bengals. Man in motion is Kelly. The handoff to Belina, and we're going to have whistles and flags.
Looks like it might be another false start penalty for Blaine.
So the Bengals finally get excellent field position, and they shoot themselves in the foot twice.
Well, those penalties are what hurt him in the first half with the I believe it was unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for 15 yards after a touchdown and the extra point. So Blaine got to kick off in the Blaine, or Moorhead got to kick off in the Blaine zone. And then they had a holding penalty after a good run, and now they've had some penalties here in the second half that's been hurting them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard the PA announcement, but the Eden Prairie over Lakeville, 14-7 in the third quarter. Here's Parsons, he keeps it. Being chased, and he falls down at the 30-yard line.
He just tripped over his own feet there. It's going to make it second and very long.
It'll be a 12-yard loss for Ryan Parsons.
He had a very deep bootleg there and couldn't find anybody downfield and just tripped up again with this turf. It's hard to keep your feet, and I don't even think he has cleats on there. Looked like just normal tennis shoes.
It's a possibility. I see a lot of white shoes out there, so a lot of these players may be wearing their basketball shoes tonight on this frozen field. Well, second down and a long way to go. Here's Bellina, bounces off a tackler, and he'll be out to the 45-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 14 yards for Chris Bellina.
It was a pick of 14 yards, and it still looks like they're about 14 short of the first down, though. So it's still going to be third and very long. And I wonder if they'll try the same type of play, just a quick handoff to try and bust through the defense, with Moorhead probably playing pretty deep against a pass.
Third down and 17 now.
Again, Moorhead, this season, their Achilles heel on defense has been the deep pass. So, Blaine's yet to complete a pass. This would be a great time to do it.
Well, this time it'll be Parsons. He breaks through, and he's gone to the sideline. Touchdown, Bengals. It'll be a 48-yard touchdown run.
Geez, Parson, he's been a one-man wrecking crew for Blaine. He had a great fake on there. It looked like it was just going to be another little run trying to break deep, but the fake bootleg, and he just scrambled. I didn't think anybody in Moorhead knew he had the football until he was about 20 yards downfield.
Well, the third touchdown of the night for Ryan Parsons completes a 3-play, 48-yard drive. Neto on for the extra point. It's up and it's good. And with 3:08 left to play, Bengals starting to build that lead a bit as they're up 20-6.
Yeah, Blaine's coming out. Great job in this third quarter here. Looks like Parsons just decided to take his team, throw on his back the last couple drives, and say, I'm going to watch the replay here of the touchdowns. It was a great fake there and just took it himself.
Yeah, he had me fooled. I thought Bellina had the football.
And he wasn't even touched the entire time.
And giving chase there defensively is Sean Kosic, the strong safety, but you could just see Parsons' determination as he turned on the afterburners, and he was gone once he got through the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Parson, the senior quarterback, he definitely doesn't want to make this his last game. So he's doing his all to give Blaine the 14-point lead here. Moorhead, if they're going to have to score probably on this drive a touchdown, I guess they want to have too much of a chance to come back and then somehow contain Parson.
Here's Baumgartner's kick. It's going to be a low squibber taken by one of the up men and being pushed ahead to the 38-yard line. Nice return there by Scott Johnson as he'll set up the Spuds once again in pretty decent field position. They'll have it at the 38.
Again, Parson, that's his third touchdown. When he scored the one in the first quarter on their first drive, Moorhead did a good job of containing him after that, keeping him inside the pocket, not letting him scramble or do keepers, but they haven't done a job of that here in the second half and third quarter here. 3 minutes left.
They'll split one man out to the far side, but the handoff to Karch. Karch across the 40. And they'll push him back as he'll get out to the 41. A pickup of about 3 on the play for Josh Karch, who now has 22 yards in the second half.
Yeah, Karch, he's been always been the best offensive weapon here for Moorhead, although they haven't been able to get it past midfield yet. They've gotten it to it twice, and once turned it over on downs, and then last time fumbled it away.
I'm kind of surprised they've kind of gone away from Corey Johnson. Here's Wolford back to pass. He'll swing it out to Johnson, and he'll be close to a first down as he's out near the 48.
Looks like he might have picked it up. All depends upon where this. And he does pick up the first down. So here's a replay. He saw the catch, and he tried to break that tackle, but he just drove him out of bounds. So we got 1st and 10 here at the Moorhead 49. Let's see if they can get it past midfield. Like I said, they haven't done it yet this half. They've gotten it close, or they've gotten it right to the 50 their first 2 drives.
Well, they split Joe Johnson out to the far side. The handoff to Corey Johnson, and big cloud of white chalk at midfield, and a cloud of dust, and he'll pick up about 2 yards.
Yeah. So it's at now the Blaine 49 about. So Moorhead managed to get it past midfield. Now they're just going to have to drive all the way down and get in the end zone with about 2 minutes left in this quarter, and they're down 14. Time's running out on them.
2 men split to the near side, 1 to the far side. Johnson is the lone setback. Wolford looks to pass. He'll keep it himself, and he'll dive ahead. Nice pickup of about 6 yards for Wolford.
Yeah, that's Wolford's first run. Remember, he had a knee injury in the first half. Here's a replay. Drop back to pass. I don't know if it was designed to be a keeper. It looked like he didn't give himself much time to throw that ball.
Yeah, that may have been a quarterback draw, as he tucked it under quickly.
But Wolford, he doesn't exactly seem to be the same type of scrambling or running quarterback as Parson is. Over on the season, he had 19 runs for 76 yards.
And this time they'll hand it off, and Karch will push ahead for the first down. He'll pick up 5 yards on the play.
In this game, it seems like Parsons picked up more yards running than Wolford had all season. So yeah, like I said, Wolford is not much of a running quarterback. They normally rely on the junior Corey Johnson. I'm sure they're looking forward to having him back next year. He's pretty impressive so far in the early parts of this game, but they've gone away from him.
Yeah, Parsons so far in the football game, 98 yards, so he's getting close. Wolford rushed for, for 76 yards, yeah, so he's outrun Wolford's entire season here just in this game.
Wolford also had 5 TDs on the season, and Parson already has 3, so.
Yep. Well, the false start this time on Moorhead.
It's like they're trying to be a little too quick there off the ball, but it definitely seems like that the Moorhead with them, a lot of their guys playing both ways, they seem to be getting tired, both on offense and on defense. Mainly it's the linemen that have been playing both ways, and a couple of the other players.
Yeah, Dustin Martin plays on both sides, Jed Donkey, I believe Chris Peterson as well. Nope, just those two on the front line. And here's Corey Johnson. Johnson with another nice hole, and he'll be down to the 35. He'll pick up about 4 yards on the play.
Oh, check that.
9 yards on the play. That's right. Forgot about the penalty there.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice pickup for after that penalty. So it's going to be about 2nd and 6.
Yeah, as soon as I said 4, I realized
yeah,
forgot about the penalty there. But and that will end the third quarter of play. As this one going quickly with both teams keeping the ball primarily on the ground. There you see the score. The Bengals increasing their lead as they pick up two touchdowns in the third quarter, and they're on top by a score of 20-6 as we move to the fourth quarter. But Matt, the Spuds moving the football pretty well on the Bengals right now on this drive.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of running, but I mean, with only 1 quarter left, I think they're going to have to start going to the air. They've been somewhat successful, more successful than the Bengals have, so I think they're going to have to start going to the air so they don't take up as much time here. But again, I mean, they've thrown quite a number of interceptions, you know, in comparison to on the season that the Bengals have. And the Bengals, I believe they have intercepted the ball 18 times on the season. So
yeah, they have a phenomenal turnover ratio, 26-6. And here's Karch once again as he gets down to the 31-yard line. He'll gain about 5 yards on the play, but that's one thing that the Bengals have just been fantastic at is creating turnovers. And Brian Baumgartner and Tony Kunze all season long have been picking off balls along with Steve Moore.
Yeah, right now the turnover ratio is 1-to-1.
Yep. 3rd down and 2. Karch dives ahead. Great second effort. Should get him the first down as he's inside the 30 to the 28, a gain of 3.
Yeah, Karch got stood up there and then just spun off the tackler to pick up an extra yard or 2. But one note with the Blaine interceptions is they have one every game, so that normally means they're winning late in the game, which means the other team has to pass a lot.
Yep.
So that gives more opportunities for the interceptions. Where Blaine, they run at the end of the game, so not as many opportunities to intercept it.
Well, here's a handoff to Gahan, and he'll be in for the touchdown. Andrew Gahan, with only his 3rd carry of the night, will run it in from 28 yards out.
That was a great set of play. He looked like he came out from the wing there, just a little bit of a trap, and he went through relatively untouched. So that's a big play for Moorhead.
Yeah,
I'd say they've had kicking problems so far this game. Missed an extra point and a field goal. This one's blocked.
Yeah, Tony Kunze getting in there along with Brian Hansen, and Hansen's been a demon on special teams tonight along with Tony Kunze, and they just stuffed that one right back into Oliver's face, and that will at least keep it an 8-point game.
If you saw right there, a Moorhead player did catch it and land in the end zone, but since you've watched the replay here, clean block right there. And number 1 for Moorhead, which is Willie Roller.
But Hansen with another great job here. We'll get another look at it as Kunze comes in. And yeah, got by Kunze, but Hansen was there to make the block as 2 players had the opportunity.
Yeah, with Willie Roller, he caught it and landed in the end zone, but since it was past the line of scrimmage, it has to be touched by a Blaine player for it to be a live ball. So,
well, the drive for the Spuds, extra point or no, goes 8 plays, 62 yards. And here's Oliver set to kick it away for the Spuds, another squibber. They actually brought Steve Moore up into the up position. And here's a great opportunity for Eric Allman. Allman breaks away from the pile, but he'll be chased down. Making the stop for Moorhead is Mike Hagan. And the Bengals there kind of, with a little bit of trickery, moved Allman and Moore up into the middle of the field. And Allman came away with it and had a nice return to the 46.
Yeah, Moorhead just must not have noticed that they were moved up because their previous kicks they had squib kicked. It was a good call bringing up the return man. So Moorhead, they're going to have to get a stop here pretty quickly if they want to try and tie it up.
Now Allman will be split out to the far side, split backs, handoff. Nope, check that, fake the handoff. Parsons still on his feet, breaks free. Second and third effort by Ryan Parsons gets him out to the 49-yard line. A lot of work, but he got positive yardage out of it.
Yeah, it looked like Moorhead had him wrapped up pretty well, and they just can't seem to tackle that guy tonight. He's broken quite a few long runs and at least made quite a few no gains or losses into at least a yard or 2.
I'll split Allman out to the near side. The lone setback will be Belina. In motion comes Moore. They'll give to Moore. Moore's wrapped up by the defense. Is breaking through the line was Andrew Field, the left end.
Yeah, that was a great job busting through the line and taking him down. So it's going to be 3rd and 10, and I think Moorhead's worst nightmare, Parsons going to have to do something with the ball here, and they haven't been able to stop him in this half.
Well, they'll split Rutgers out to the far side, Allman to the near side. Steve Moore will also split out to the far side as well. Molina will be the lone setback. And timeout called. We had some confusion. Parsons was signaling to Moore, and Moore was signaling back. And I'm not sure that they had a good handle as far as what they were trying to do. And there you see Parsons and Moore coming over to talk to the coaching staff and straighten out what the issue was. I think Moore was supposed to be on this side of the field.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, though, on this play if Parsons decides to keep it. Again, he hasn't completed a pass yet, and he's ran for nearly 100 yards. So,
yeah, actually, he has run for exactly 100 yards on the night.
A very nice night for a quarterback running, apparently.
Yeah, well, that's Parsons for the last year and this year has been the leading rusher on this team, and especially for a team that's not really an option team to speak of. I mean, just speaking of local teams, you think of like Spring Lake Park, for example. Their quarterback's probably one of the top rushers on the team because they run an option offense. The Bengals will run the option play on occasion, but for the most part, it's just Parsons scrambling or just taking it on a quarterback draw, and he's done a great job this season.
I've seen only about 2 options that haven't worked out real well because Parsons decided to pitch it.
Yep.
Should just keep it. They can't take him down.
All right, same formation. Moore will come in motion to the near side. Parsons will swing it out to Moore. Moore will be ridden immediately out of bounds at the 50-yard line. He'll gain about 3 yards on the play. And that one didn't work out the way the Bengals had hoped, but that is the first completion of the night for Ryan Parsons.
Yeah, I was looking for it in Justin Howland for Moorhead. He was sort of a quarterback spy, you'd say. He ended up rushing in, but waited a few counts. I think he had the responsibility to make sure Parson didn't run.
Well, it's a big punt for the Bengals as it will be taken by Johnson at the 14. Dodges one tackler. Hansen can't get him. And I believe that's Eric Allman. It is, and we'll have flags on the play.
I'd have to guess that's either going to be a late hit or face mask because they came right at the end of the play.
Yep. Yeah, it's probably most likely a face mask. Yep.
Looks like personal foul, face mask. That's a big penalty. Gives Moorhead some great field position.
Well, let's see if we can get another look at it here. Well, Hansen got. Oh, there's the face mask right there. Yep. Eric Allman definitely.
He had that
guilty.
all the way down. That was.
Yep.
You can hurt somebody by doing that.
So, huge penalty against the Bengals. That's their 6th penalty of the night. 60 yards of penalties for the Bengals, and we'll set the Spuds up at the 35.
Yeah, the penalties have really hurt Blaine. If Blaine doesn't hold on to win this game, I definitely have to say it's the penalties that's really hurt them. So again, the turnovers again are even 1-1. They had that big turnover on the punt.
Well, this handoff will go to Karch, and Karch out to the 39. He'll gain 4 yards on the play.
Well, the points off the turnovers, Blaine has the advantage. They got a touchdown, so 7 points off their turnover.
Yep.
In the third quarter, where Moorhead couldn't do anything with it at the end of the half. They missed a field goal. So
2nd down and 6. The handoff, I believe, again to Karch. It was. And he'll be out to the 45, and he may have enough for a first down. They may have to measure this one.
Well, they're just going to signal first down. So
it'll be a 6-yard pickup and a first down for the Spuds.
Yeah, Moorhead, the last two drives here, and so far on this one, they're doing a nice job running again. That's what they've been doing pretty good so far this game. It's been working. Again, they did complete some passes in the first half for about 50 yards.
Yeah,
but
5 of 11. And the handoff this time to Johnson. He fumbles it again. The ball loose, and actually on the fumble, they're going to gain an extra 3 or 4 yards.
I wouldn't advise running that play again, though. You don't want to throw the ball on the ground to pick up a few more yards, though.
No, definitely not. So it'll be a 7-yard pickup for Johnson.
Oh, if you're watching the replay, helmet right on the ball. I don't know if anybody could hold on to that one.
And,
that was the helmet right on the nose of the ball.
A heads-up play by Nick Fee to cover that one up. Here's Karch. He'll be tripped up. Looks like he's going to be short of the first down as they'll gain about 2 on the play.
That's Johnson's second fumble. Although again on that one, like I said, I don't know who could have held on to that one.
Yeah, and I don't know how much you can fault him on that first one, as it kind of came on the exchange from the quarterback. So
yeah, normally exchanges those are normally on the quarterback. You know, they need to get that ball right into the gut of the running back.
Well, that's good to see. Joe Vanstrom, offensive tackle for the Bengals, getting the crowd into it to cheer on their defense, and a great stop, and
it's going to be close.
It's going to be close because on the play, as making the stop for the Bengals was John Krecklow, but he threw the running back forward as he tackled him.
You can watch the replay here. The little man, Johnson, he got caught behind the backfield, but to bring him down, they had to throw him forward for about a yard, it looked like.
Check that. That was Dustin Cromie. I thought I saw an 88, but it's actually 98 Cromie with the stop, but yeah.
And they're going to measure here. Either way, if it's fourth down, you know Moorhead's got to go for it.
Yep.
So they're in Blaine territory on the 45. And it looks like it's going to be very close if it's not a first down.
Now, it depends on which way they lean the stick. They're going to be about 2 inches short, but
again, last time they were here, they tried to hand it to Johnson, and he fumbled it.
Yep.
Again,
as I was just going to say, anything can happen on that play, so
I think one thing we'll probably be seeing is probably Karst, that he's been working for Moorhead this half. Just pounding up the middle. They only need a couple of inches.
Well, the Bengal crowd exalting their defense to make the big stop here. Clock continues to run at 6:36 to play in this football game. Bengals up by 8. Here we go, 4th and inches. The handoff to Karch, and he'll pop through the line, pick up about 3 yards and the first down.
Nice pickup for Karch there. Again, they just gave it to him, and he just sort of dove over the pile. He's a big man, so he picked up about 3 yards on his jump. Blaine crowd tried to get him to have a false start there. Cheerleaders trying to fire him up, and you got to give credit to him. It's cold out there.
Definitely. Even if you're just holding a pom-pom, it's still not conducive. Believe me, temperature is supposed to get down in single digits tonight here in the Twin Cities, and here's the handoff to Johnson. And here we'll get another look at it. And a 1-yard loss for Corey Johnson.
Johnson tried to use his speed to get outside. They looked like they went to the short side there. Didn't have as much area to pick up some speed to get to the corner.
Actually, it does look like after they spotted it that he got back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd down and 10. One man split to the near side. That's Joe Johnson. Give it to Gahan, and his last play was the touchdown run. This would be stacked up at the line of scrimmage, maybe gained a yard.
Yeah, it looked like they ran the same play that they ran on the touchdown.
Yep.
And that time it didn't work.
Well, there again, that's the sign of a good football team. They make the adjustments, and you may get away with it once, but you won't get away with it twice.
So, looks like it's going to be a pass here for Moorhead. And they're much more successful than Blaine has been on the pass.
Joe Johnson split to the far side. Xander to the near side. He'll throw to Xander, and he did scoop it up and make the catch at the 33-yard line.
It's going to be
but he's
close.
going to be short. It's going to be about a 9-yard gain.
That pass just didn't go far enough for Moorhead. You watch here. He makes the catch just before it hits the ground, but he has no opportunity to gain any extra yardage on it.
So big 4th and 1 play, and this could be the ball game here for Moorhead if the Bengals can make the stop. they'll have the opportunity to run out the clock as we're down to 4:44 left to play.
If I was Moorhead here, I'd think about running a fake to Karch and bootleg for Wolford. He had that one somewhat successful run, and Karch has been pounding it.
And whistles and flags. Let's see who jumped when. Delay of game will be the call, and that is huge.
So that's going to make it probably a throw for Moorhead. And if they would have let that play go, it looked like Karch, who received the handoff, would have had the first down just by the time they blew the whistles for the dead ball. So
Steve Conley comes out, and looks like Moorhead's going to call a timeout. I was wondering how he was walking out on the field that far without a timeout. He came out and started talking to his quarterback, and they just started wandering toward the huddle before they finally called the timeout. And with 4:21 left to go, it's a wise move by Steve Conley and the Moorhead Spuds as they have a very important play to deal with here on 4th and 5.
yeah, I'd have to say it's one of their most important plays of the season, because if they don't get it, that might be the end of it for Moorhead. Because the way Blaine had been moving the football, although they were stopped their last drive, I believe they got one first down, but they've been moving it pretty successful and running it well, and that would run the clock down to almost nothing. Again, Moorhead, if they would get the ball back, if they don't make it here, they won't have much time. And on the season, they haven't been a very successful passing team. But so far this game, they have been. Look for a pass here.
Well, they scored a pass along. Lakeville with a bit of an upset as they knock off Eden Prairie for the second time this year, winning that one 21-14. So the Lakeville Panthers will move on. Here's Wolford looking downfield and picked off. Brian Baumgartner, I believe that's his 7th interception of the year, and that should put the game away for the Bengals as he returns it to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, you could see that throw coming from a mile away. I mean, I saw he was going to jump that pass. It was pretty well telegraphed. Looks like he watched the replay here. He was staring his man down the whole time, throwing on the run.
And actually, Kunze had an opportunity for that one as well, but Baumgartner comes up with the big interception, and the Bengals will get it back with 4:12 left to play. They'll have it at their own 43-yard line.
So, looks like Moorhead, they're going to have to stop him here.
Yeah,
this one go 3 and out.
This one ain't over yet. The Bengals are going to have to pick up a couple of first downs, and we have flags on the play and another penalty, the 7th penalty for 65 yards against the Bengals.
Yeah, the ball carriers for Blaine, they better be sure that they got 2 hands on that ball at all times, because you know Moorhead, they're going to be going after it.
Exactly.
Because they have nothing else to lose.
Well, regardless of the results of this game, the Bengals will bid farewell to Bengal Stadium after tonight's game, and if they win, they move on to the Metrodome next weekend as they will play in the Saturday night game.
That's got to make either of these teams happy, not have to play outdoors anymore.
And the handoff to Moore. Moore in a crowd, and he'll try to drive the pile forward. He'll pick up a couple of yards on the play as he's out to the 40.
If you notice on the play right there, Moorhead again, the first guy to the ball carrier went right after the ball. He was trying to strip it. It looked like he almost did. That ball looked like it was about to pop out, but he held on to it.
Well, Steve Moore's done a great job hanging on to the football this season, and I think that's one of the reasons they are giving it to him here. Allman will split out to the near side. Split backs will be Belina and Moore. In motion goes Kelly. The handoff to Chris Belina. No, check that. It'll be Ryan Parsons. Parsons runs out of bounds. And
should have just went down.
Yep, he'll pick up 5 yards, but
he's trying to get to the corner there with a couple of good stiff arms, breaking tackles. But it looks like when he knew he was going to go out of bounds, he should have just fell down.
Yep,
a little bit more time off the clock.
The clock will stop with 3:24 left to go. The Bengals really need a first down here as they have it 3rd and 8.
Just as we were talking about, it was a big 4th down for Moorhead. This is a huge 3rd down for Blaine. So if they don't pick it up, they'll be giving Moorhead the ball back. About 3 minutes left.
Kelly goes in motion. The handoff to Moore. Moore will pick up about a yard on the play.
It's going to be 4th down, and you know Blaine's going to punt. There's no way that they'll go for it.
Yep, they will punt it away, try to pin Moorhead back deep. Joe Johnson will head back along with David Cullum.
Moorhead's got to hope for a blocked punt here.
Actually, Cullum's going to come up now.
Remember last punt, Blaine, they had a 15-yard face mask penalty at the end of it, so.
Yep. And a delay of game. That was an intentional delay of game, as they tried to burn as much clock as they could. They figured the 5 yards was a lot less important than the 30 seconds that they were able to burn off. And Moore with a pretty strong leg, no wind. Will stand at his 25. Whoa!
High snap.
High snap, nearly blocked, but he got it off. Gets the end over end, and it does take a Blaine roll as the Bengals got very fortunate there, and they will down it at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, he had to jump as high as he could just to catch that on his fingertips. That was nearly disastrous for Blaine.
Steve Moore used every inch of his 6'2" frame.
Because, yeah, that ball would have been deep in Blaine territory. Either way, if Blaine would have fell on it, it still would have turned the ball over. And Moorhead, they could have maybe picked it up and ran it in. So,
well, 2:33 left to go. 2 timeouts for Moorhead as they will start at their 29-yard line, 71 yards away, and a 2-point conversion from tying up this football game. Wolford swing it to the far sideline, and it is caught.
Nice pickup there, and he also got out of bounds to stop the clock. So, although with that 2-point conversion with Moorhead, you may be looking for it because they've missed 2 extra points and a field goal. So.
Well, Matt Schneider will make his first catch of the night, the wide receiver.
And this drive really looked to Joe Johnson. He's been the leading receiver for Moorhead.
Here's Wolford swinging it to the near side, nearly picked off by Moore. He had it in his hands as the pass intended for Joe Johnson will fall incomplete.
Yeah, Wolford again, he pretty well telegraphed that pass. Even though there's only 2:22, you may see a run here by Moorhead, either to catch Blaine off guard or just to pick up the first down. It's 3rd and about 1.
Yeah, they're going to have to run a running play here just to get the first down. But they will split 2 men out to the near side as Barta and Xander come to the near side, and it will be a running play. And looks like they'll have the first down as Wolford keeps it.
So they're going to have to do a hurry-up play here. They probably had 2 plays called in that huddle for after the sneak there.
Well, 2 men split to the near side, 1 to the far side. Karch is the lone setback. Wolford rolls to the near side, looking to the sideline, and Barta got tangled up with Gunter. No flag on the play. Barta wants a penalty, and let's see if we get another look at that. I think they just got their feet tangled up. No intention.
Well, it didn't seem intentional, but he still interfered with his ability to go to the ball.
No, he tripped over his own feet, it looks like. You couldn't see his feet, but there really wasn't much in the way of contact on either side. Both players had a hand on the jersey of the other, so it'll just be an incomplete pass. And
yeah, but it's pretty close for Blaine. They could have been called for it.
Well, that'll give the Spuds something to talk about during the offseason here if they don't win this one. And another pickoff, out of the hands as Barta became the defensive back there. And Brian Baumgartner almost had his second interception of the night.
Yeah, that was a great play by Barta. Baumgartner, he's pulling it down. Barta just punched it out.
Yep. So 3rd down and 10 now, a minute 56 left to play.
Yeah, Wolford had to get rid of that ball pretty quick. He had some pressure on him, which caused that high, deep pass.
Johnson split to the near side, 2 men to the far side. Karch is the lone setback. Wolford back again, throws over the middle. Hits Schneider. Schneider trying to leap ahead for the 1st down, and he'll be brought down. Brian Hansen, another big stop for Hansen, and he'll stop him at the 49-yard line. Let's give him the 50. It'll be an 8-yard pickup for Schneider.
It looked like they attempted a screen pass. There was a nice catch to pull it in and tried to jump up over a pile of people and got taken down. Now Moorhead with the timeout. Surprised they didn't call it a few seconds earlier.
Yeah, I think they were going to try to get the play off and then decided since it was 4th down and basically their season writing on this play, it'd be a wise move to come over and talk it over there. You get a good look at Steve Conley in the middle of the huddle there with the stocking cap on.
Yeah, I was expecting to call a timeout right away. I mean, you said it's one of their most important plays here. Last time they had a 4th down and short, they had a delay of game penalty, and then they called the timeout. So hopefully this time they have their play ready and don't lose that 5 precious yards here.
Well, it'll be a 4th and 2.
It's like a very long 2.
There you see one of the Moorhead players getting the hands warm on the heaters on the sideline, and Ray Kurtz went out and got heaters for the sidelines for this game. Here we go, 4th and 2. Wolford will roll to his left. He'll keep it himself. It's going to be close, but it looked like he picked up the 1st down as he gains 3 yards.
Yeah, that was a great job. He just gave his all. You watch the replay. It was a bootleg here. It's like actually a full keeper. Just lowers his shoulder. Ends up rolling top the Blaine player to pick up the extra yard or 2. Great play.
Hurry up offense. Wolford back to pass over the middle, and intended for Johnson. Steve Moore there on the defense, and will fall incomplete once again.
We got a minute 10 left, and it was a pass over the middle that the receiver just couldn't get to.
Yeah, actually, almost looked like Moore had a better opportunity at that one. Johnson will split to the near side, 2 men out to the far side. Karch once again the lone setback. Here's Wolford looking to the sideline. The catch made as Xander steps out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Gain of about 9 yards on the play.
Yeah, they only used up 5 seconds on that play too. Looks like those quick out passes have been the most successful ones. Anytime that they've had to wait for a guy to get deep, hasn't been too good for him. So look for a few more of those if they can keep on hitting them, only taking 5-6 seconds off the clock every time.
And 3rd and 2 from the 38. Wolford looking to the near side. It's caught once again by Xander. Xander's inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
That was a nice slant pass there.
Pickup.
Now again, they probably called two plays in the huddle because with the 1st down, the clock stops when they move the chains. They spike the ball.
They spike it.
Stop the clock at 54.3 seconds left. They're inside the 30. Looks like Moorhead's probably going to keep on trying to go for those quick passes because that's what's been successful here. Again, with the out and then the slant.
Yeah, it's just a question as to whether they're going to be able to get enough yardage quick enough doing that. But so far, like you said, it's been working. Joe Johnson split to the near side. Barta and Xander to the far side. Here's Wolford rolling right. Looking. He's going to keep it himself. They hold him in bounds. And this could be costly. They do have 1 timeout left. They haven't called it yet. It's going to be 3rd down after the 2-yard pickup.
I think they're probably going to say their timeout for the last play.
Well, clock down to 30 seconds. Looking for the quick hit over the middle. Kunza on the defense as the pass intended for Barta will fall incomplete.
A big fourth down here after that drop pass. It looked like it might have been hit out. No, it looks like he just dropped that one.
Everybody on their feet here on both sides of the field. A nice representation, by the way, for the folks from Moorhead coming down for tonight's game.
Yeah, that's a heck of a drive.
And the Bengals sideline, as per usual, filled to capacity. Here's Wolford going for the end zone. Touchdown!
Got it! That was a great catch.
28-yard pass to Justin Zander to bring Moorhead within 2.
So now with 20 seconds, well actually 19.1 seconds left, Moorhead does have to go for 2, so they got the hard part done. Now they gotta, well I guess going for 2 isn't the easy part. So Moorhead calls the timeout. Gotta discuss how to get their 2 yards here.
So the 28-yard pass to Justin Zander for the touchdown gets Moorhead back within 2.
Well, we've seen some great effort here. That was if you watch this pass here, it was underthrown a little bit, so great adjustment. The Blaine defender, he wasn't looking for the ball the whole time. So the Moorhead, he made the adjustment and caught it.
Yeah, there you get a look at Ryan Gunter, number 6, who was back on coverage on that one.
Like I was saying, Moorhead, we've seen some great heart from them in this game. I mean, it looked like they nearly written it off when they threw the interception with about, what was it, 2.5 minutes left? Or it was about 3 minutes left, I'm sorry. But they got the ball back and they were just a 2-point conversion away from tying it up and maybe sending this into overtime.
Well, Corey Johnson back in the game after sitting out for most of that drive, so he may be a little bit stiff. And the Bengals, now that they saw the formation, it's kind of like a basketball game. They saw how Moorhead was going to come out and line up. The defense calls timeout, so they'll come over and talk this over as the season on the line here with 19 seconds left in this one. And to be honest with you, Matt, I don't think anybody on the Bengals sideline, other than maybe the coaching staff, thought that Moorhead was going to give the Bengals much of a fight tonight, as they came into this game 8-2, and their 2 losses came against Detroit Lakes, a 4A team, who was always good anyway. They won the state championship last year, and St. Cloud Tech, who they did come back to beat in the section semifinal, but they play an independent schedule and don't play quite the caliber of teams that the Bengals play during the regular season.
Yeah, just got to remember they won their sections and they're in this tournament, so
exactly.
Every team in here has got to be a good team. Can't walk in there. And like you said, they beat St. Cloud Tech in the sections who they lost to in the regular season, so.
All right, here we go. 2 men split to the far side, 1 to the near side.
Single back.
Single back will be Corey Johnson. Here's Wolford. Wolford flips it into the end zone. Was it caught? Yes! We're all tied up at 20 apiece.
There's still 19.1 seconds left. And Blaine, they've had a great return game. It's like Moorhead's probably going to look where Blaine's going to set their good return men. Remember last time they put them to the up returners instead of the deep ones, so this isn't quite into overtime yet.
Well, the drive goes 71 yards in 14 plays, and we are all knotted up at 20 apiece. Looking at a possibility of overtime. I don't think the Bengals are going to take a big risk here.
Yeah, you don't want to get the ball and then go for a deep pass and have it intercepted and you run it back. But again, the way Parson, he's been scrambling or running the ball, you never know what he might do with it.
Exactly.
He's broken about all his touchdowns have been pretty broken, deep runs.
Well, they'll put Ullman and Moore up at the 30-yard line. And then back deep will be A.J. Kelly, who's been returning kickoffs all year. It'll be taken by Ullman at the 25. Ullman looks to come to the near side. He's got a man out in front, Jeremy Torrey, but he'll be wrapped up at the 31-yard line.
That was a great solo tackle there. Just got him right on the knee. Let's see if they can do that to Parson, because every time I see Parson run with the ball here, he just spins and stiff arms, does everything he can so he doesn't get taken down. Moorhead can't seem to do it, but I bet you'll see some, at least one guy being the spy on him, following him wherever he runs. They don't want to fall for a play fake or a fake handoff.
Well, Moorhead definitely in the prevent defense. Oliver back at the 48-yard line. Empty backfield for the Bengals. Parsons looking downfield. He's got Ullman tipped and incomplete.
It was a very nice defense not to pick the interference, and he actually almost tipped that to the deep man, the safety out there.
Well, that burned up nearly 10 seconds on the clock as we're down to 9.4 now.
Actually, it was about 6 seconds.
Yeah, you're right.
There's
Because
about
we
five
did
that ran
add
off.
5 on the kickoff return. My bad. And the officials discussing something.
Can't quite tell what they're.
Well,
Oh, a false start penalty.
my goodness, that flag came late.
Wonder if they'll add any time, unless that was a procedure penalty, not false start.
It may have been a motion.
Yeah, it could have been too many men in motion.
Well, they'll have one back in the backfield. That'll be Belina. Parsons back to pass. Rolls to the right side, downfield for Rutgers. It's picked off by Cullum.
Let's see what he can do with it.
Time has expired. He's still on his feet. Still on his feet. And he'll finally be brought down at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, great job returning. Looked like right near the end he was looking for a pitch. But it was a good thing he didn't, because you don't want Blaine to maybe pick a fumbled ball up. Although if it would have been fumbled and they fell on it, it would have been dead there.
Yep.
It's one thing in high school is if you land on the ground, whether you're touched or not, you're still down.
Well, here we'll get another look at it.
It's a nice interception there, and he's got a few blockers for him.
Yeah, there's 5 guys back for Moorhead on the prevent there. And there you saw Cullum.
Well, Blaine does a great job with the 2 deep receivers to come back to make the tackle.
And finally he's brought down back near the 40-yard line. And the officials, I think, waiting for the Blaine captains to come out.
Probably a little cold. You got to go by the heaters or something.
Well, they're all standing right on the sideline there at midfield. Now the officials will come over. There we go. As there you see the captains for the Bengals: Brad Dahlman, Steve Moore, Ryan Parsons, Brian Baumgartner, and Derek Kelly. Parsons still doesn't want to let go of that football. Well, no matter what happens tonight, both these teams should be proud of where they've gotten this season, because this has been a fantastic football game played by both sides.
The interception there was only his second one of the season, so. But again, it was just on one of those desperation passes.
Here we go, baby. Who won? Go at the scoreboard.
All right, so here we go as we get set to go to overtime.
Parson finally giving up the ball to the officials.
who gets it first.
This overtime, Carson, he's going to be the man to watch. He scored all the touchdowns for Blaine.
He finishes up regulation with 105 yards on 12 carries and 3 touchdowns. Not much of a passing night, though. 1 of 6 for 3 yards and an interception. Bengals will start on offense. And we'll take it down to the left end of the field. South end, whichever you want to call it. Actually, that would be the east end. My apologies. Been doing games here for how many years?
Yeah, I'd have to say if Blaine wins this game, Carson's probably their player of the game. He'll get the game ball. And if Moorhead wins it, I'd definitely have to say that it'd probably be Wolford getting it with him driving his team and getting that big touchdown pass.
Yeah,
and also playing on that twisted knee.
Yep.
Earlier, he didn't seem to be bothering too much, but you never know. I mean.
All right, for those unfamiliar with the high school rule, the way the overtime works is you get 4 plays to put it in the end zone from the 10-yard line. Parsons looks in, gets the play. Polina and Moore split in the backfield. Parsons will keep it. He's heading for the corner. And he'll be pushed out at the 5-yard line.
Like I was saying, that's the play you got to look for because it's been working all night long is the fake handoff quarterback keeper, the outside. Picked up 5 yards. Might see it again here in these last 3. Let's see the replay here. Gets outside, but Moorhead had it planned out. They've been doing it all night long to him, and I wouldn't say they completely stopped it. Picking up 5.
Well, if we can get just as many yards on this next play, they'll be in the end zone. Almond split this time to the near side. Kelly goes in motion to the near side. The pitch to Moore. Moore looking for some room to run. Flags down, and he's down back to the line of scrimmage.
It looked like he was going to have a loss on the play. Flag down might be a face mask, or I guess either a face mask or a holding.
Well, the officials will talk things over. As the flag came in near the end of the run. Face mask the call against the Moorhead Spuds. And here we'll see if we get another look.
Can't quite see the face mask. It was.
I think it must have come before this portion of the run here. Well, let's see. Yeah, the flag was thrown before that, so it will go half the distance to the goal down to the 4-yard line.
That's really big because they don't lose a down on that.
Exactly. So second down from the 3.
Because they had them stopped with no gain, but with the face mask, they get a couple of yards and an extra down.
Kelly in motion to the near side. The give to Moore. Moore dives ahead, and he'll be down to the 1.
So he just tried to power it in there, but they still got 2 more downs to punch it in. So the penalties which hurt Blaine in the beginning of the game, well, actually throughout the entire game until overtime here has helped them out a little bit. They still got to get that yard.
3rd down from the 1. Look for Parsons to keep it. He does. Is he in?
I don't think he got
like
in.
He's going to be stopped a foot short.
He dove and just didn't get it in.
Well, he almost got to go on the quarterback sneak here, as they're about a foot shy. Here we'll get another look as he fakes the handoff to Polina. Tries to get to the outside and there to make the stop. I believe that was Aaron Fjeld. And the Bengals sideline trying to get a timeout here, but they don't call it. Here's Moore. Looks like he's in. Touchdown!
Oh, Allman, he's coming up a little limp. there. He's limping off the field pretty quick, though.
Now the question is, do you go for 2?
See the replay here. Well, you can just see the end of it when he just gets in there.
Kick is up, and it's good. And Doug Netto does what he was set up to do, and there you see Eric Allman hobbling on the sideline, and hopefully he will be able to sit down and not have to worry about anything until next Saturday.
Yeah, it looked like when I saw him coming off the field that it was sort of a hamstring type cramp. I was just trying to walk it off, you know, stretch it out. This cold weather cramps be pretty common. So, yeah, they got to hope that he won't have to go back out on the field.
All right, now Moorhead will get their opportunity here from the 10-yard line. 4 plays to make it to the end zone.
One thing you got to think about, though, is if Moorhead gets in the end zone, will they try and kick the extra point? They haven't made one yet.
That's true. They'll go with the eye backfield. Joe Johnson split to the far side. The handoff to Corey Johnson, and Johnson stacked up after about a 2-yard gain.
In this situation, with only needing 10 yards, I'd give it to Karch. He's been pounding it for a good 3 or 4 yards every carry. You don't need to go that far downfield, so you don't need a real speed guy. You just need a guy that can just knock some people around.
We'll see if they go to that on the second play. Actually, only a 1-yard pickup. So 2nd and 9. The handoff to Johnson once again, and Johnson will be down near the 5-yard line.
Well, they did fake it to Karch that time on the handoff. Looked like it drew a couple of Blaine players to Karch's side, opening up a bigger hole for Johnson to run through.
So 3rd and goal now from the 5. That'll be interesting to see. As now Karch the lone setback. They'll split 2 men out to the near side, 1 to the far side. And give to Karch, and Karch is stacked up shy of the goal line as he'll be down near the 2.
He got tripped up right at the line of scrimmage, and they just got a hold of his foot. If he wouldn't have, I think he would have got in.
Yeah, it looked like he had the blocking.
But they just got a hold of his foot, causing him to slip up.
And we'll have a timeout called by the Bengals as they will talk things over defensively.
This is a huge down again. Moorhead's had quite a few of those huge downs. So with Moorhead getting the ball second, it's got to be, you know, pretty good, because I mean, if they score here and manage to tie it up, go into a second overtime, they don't have to hold Blaine if Blaine, you know what I'm trying to say. Where if they manage to get a lead in an overtime, they don't have to hold Blaine, where Blaine has to hold Moorhead.
Yep.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Well, if they get the touchdown and they successfully make a 2-point conversion, it's over. So.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Moorhead tries to do. Again, not kicking well. I mean, kickers already got to be rules. Although they are practicing the long snaps over on the Moorhead sideline. So.
All right, here we go. 4th down from the 2. Man in motion to give to Karch.
And he's
in.
I said, in those couple of yards, you just give it to your big fullback and just plow it through. Josh Karch on the season, he had 102 rushes for 840 yards, an average of 8.2 yards per rush, 13 TDs. See the replay here. Just hands it to Karch, just follows his blockers right on through. Doesn't even barely gets touched till he gets in. Now it looks like Moorhead's trying to decide, do they kick the extra point or go for 2?
Huddled up on the far side of the field. They're going to be in danger of running out of time here as they have to hustle to the line. Bengals crowd getting into it. And the Bengals call timeout.
Yeah, because it looked like Moorhead was going to go for 2, and it didn't look like Bengals were ready for it. They had a guy standing right in front of the goalpost, it looked like. So it looks like Moorhead caught a break there with Blaine calling a timeout and not getting the penalty.
Here we're going to look at the coaching staff talking things over for the Bengals.
There's the guys in the truck there.
Matt and Kenton, and with Bruce Chafee back there.
So this is going to be the last play of the game. If Moorhead goes for 2, no matter what, they make it, they win. They don't make it, Blaine wins. So it's a big gamble here.
So,
well, if you remember the end of with 19 seconds left, they went for 2 to tie it up. And they rolled out and had a little pass for 2 yards. Although right here, when it was 4th down and about 2, they gave it to Cart. So
let's see what they do. They've got 2-man split to the far side. Fake the handoff, the throw over the middle. It's complete. The Bengals win, but there's a flag on the field.
Oh, I think that might be pass interference. He hit him before that pass got to him. I'm not quite sure though.
Let's check the call. Holding
Bengals. On Bengals. That's huge. Because that only makes it 1 yard they have to get for the 2-point conversion.
Let's see
watch the replay
what
here.
Happened.
Yeah, see, he had him held before that ball got hit by anybody. So
I believe that was Andrew Geisen with the hold.
That's a huge penalty. Not only have to go 1 yard, and they get another shot. In this situation, if I was Moorhead, I'd just put it on Karch's shoulders, let him carry them through.
Well, Karch and Corey Johnson, and the Bengals will use their final timeout. My, oh my, oh my. Does it get any more dramatic than this?
Yeah, this overtime's lasted longer than the first 3 quarters.
Well, the Bengals thought they had him stopped, but a holding penalty in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, I felt that was a very good call by the referees. I mean, he clearly had him wrapped up before that ball got tipped by anybody, or even through, I believe. So that was.
And I'm not sure who that was on the penalty, if that was Geisen or the gentleman you see right in front of you there, Wygren. Because all I could see on the jersey was the big number 4. And we're going to look at part of our fine camera crew coming out to freeze their fingers off, trying to stay warm.
Yeah. We're lucky. We're in a heated booth.
Yes. Heated for the first time this season, by the way.
Well, it needed it.
Ray Kirch and the crew here at Blaine High School going all out. Here we go.
And he's in.
The
Moorhead wins.
And Moorhead wins, and they will move on.
That's a huge upset for Moorhead. They came. It's about a 5-hour drive to come down here, and they upset Blaine, the favorite. Ranked, I believe, number 1 in the state. They're undefeated this season. It was a great showing by both teams, though. Incredible finish. Blaine thought they had it when they knocked down the pass on the 2-point conversion. The holding call. This has been an incredible game. And as Blaine, you got a couple of Blaine players lying in the end zone. They can't believe it. The majority of the Blaine teams, though, they're lining up to shake the hands. Great sportsmanship shown by them. A few of them are just standing in disbelief, though, their helmets off, watching the Moorhead celebration.
There you see Joe Johnson, a big part of this win for the Moorhead Spuds, as Spuds will come over and greet the runners-up.
Yeah, that was.
I should say one of the runners-up in the state tournament. Well, as the saying goes, only one team finishes with a win, and that team will not be the Bengals this season as they complete their season. And let's take a look at that two-point conversion, as I believe that was Corey Johnson. It was.
Yep, and the little man.
He just squirted through the defenders and leaped over a man and into the end zone. And here we'll see it from the backside. Johnson got some nice blocking up front. Karch with a nice block to open up the hole for him, and he just followed his big fullback into the end zone. And
Moorhead with a great comeback in this game too. I mean, they were down, 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They came back and ended up scoring with 19 seconds left on a pass, and then they ended up having to go for the 2-point conversion because of all the missed kicks. They missed 2 extra points and a field goal in the game. And then in overtime, they ended up having, they went for 2 because apparently they weren't confident enough in their kicker. Although they didn't have their usual kicker, who was Willie Roller. He was their normal field goal kicker, and he didn't kick at all this game. Except for, I think, the opening kickoff.
Yeah, the opening kickoff, and that was it. So I don't know if we didn't really see him much after that either. So I don't know if he injured himself or what happened. But nonetheless, the Moorhead Spuds will improve their record to 9-2 on the season. They will move on and face the winner between Moundsview and Hastings. That game being played at Hastings tonight. The Bengals will finish up their season at 10-1, and great career for Ryan Parsons as he will go down in the record books for the Bengals as one of the top quarterbacks in the history of the school, not only passing but rushing as well. Steve Moore finishes up a fantastic career with the Bengals as he starter for 4 years on this team, and I think he really thought, as did the rest of the Bengals, that this was the year they were going to get to the Prep Bowl. And also Chris Molina, A.J. Kelly, Adam Rutgers, all having great seasons for the Bengals. Just kind of running off some of the seniors here. Derek Kelly, the defensive captain, Andrew Geisen, Tim Morin, and Brian Hansen, the linebackers, all had great years. Tony Kunza, of course, the strong safety, and Brian Baumgartner. Can't say much more about those guys as well. Joe Vanstrom on the offensive line, of course, he's off to a big college someplace, still hasn't made a commitment yet, and Brad Dahlman probably will land somewhere as well. But you got to tip your hats to the Moorhead Spuds as they had what it took tonight to come back after falling behind in this one by a score of 20-6, scoring 2 unanswered touchdowns in the fourth quarter and putting this game away in overtime.
Again, you got to remember what hurt him throughout the entire game was those penalties. It was a penalty that let Moorhead go for the second opportunity for the 2-point conversion. So, and then they had a few penalties throughout the game in key situations that really hurt them.
All right, well, that will wrap things up here from Bengal Stadium at Blaine High School. I'd like to thank all the people that made this year's football season possible. There were a lot of them involved, too many to mention right here, but you'll see their names on the credits as they scroll by here at the end. And also like to thank the guys from QCTV for coming over, helping out, bringing their truck, and Bruce Chafee and Colin Anderson from the broadcast team there coming over to give us a hand here as well tonight. So a great year for the Bengals, falls short of their goal, and there you see the very happy coach of the Moorhead Spuds, Steve Connolly, as he's congratulated. And that'll wrap things up here from Blaine High School. Good night, everybody.